Hey Paradoxica, how are you doing? Doing good? Nice. I nearly just hit the stop streaming button because I'm an idiot. So, as you can probably tell, this wasn't at all thrown together. Hey Banana, how are you doing? We are not playing Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. We're playing Dual Destinies. A lot of people don't like this game. I like this game. I like this game a lot, actually.
These are dark times, where the law has been reduced to rubble, and it's up to us to restore it to its former glory. Yeah, I know what you mean. It looks like your target finally decided to make a move. Don't you worry. I've got a trusty new partner on board.
Done.
Ready to go?
You bet. Let's do this.
She's been with us for half a year, though I can hardly believe it. Anyway, her power will be our greatest weapon.
We love Athena in this household.
Yeah, it's for this very reason I returned. Time to bring it to an end.
I love how Phoenix's new design is just... He's older, but he also has that one little bit of hair that sticks out from the front now, instead of it all being slicked back. Also, Apollo is a JoJo character in this game. I love this game. It's absolutely fucking wild. The best thing about bombs is how they erase and destroy without discretion. Apollo's going through it. Yeah, he is. Now all I have to do is pin everything on that little girl. Also, fun fact about case 1 of this game. For some absolutely baffling reason, Case 1 of this game takes place halfway through Case 4. That's not a joke.
Nope. Not feeling nervous at all. It's amazing what a girl can get used to. Even a tense atmosphere like this is no biggie.
You doing okay, Athena? Also, we got 3D models now. But not great Ace Attorney 3D models, so they don't look great. Athena's got some really weird 3D models, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, Apollo. Yeah, doing great. Like I'm a little tune great.
Oh yeah? Well, that's good to hear. Although, I could have sworn I heard your voice crack for a second there. Okay, wow, this showed up way earlier than I thought. Look at this, look at this grin that Apollo has. There it is. It's the same grin. This is the same grin. Like the looking down at you grin. I could have sworn I heard your voice crack for a second there.
I'm that transparent, huh? Cracking? No, my voice isn't cracking. Nerves of steel here, I tell ya. This is Apollo Justice. He's a fellow lawyer at the office I work for. Apollo is the lead for the defense on this case. But I'm gonna be there at the bench with him, doing what I can to help out. I'll do whatever it takes to defend Junie. And speaking of steel, how are you holding up? That explosion really did a number on you.
I'm just happy that you're okay, Athena. Although, I can't pretend I have no connection to this case. Yeah. That's why I'm gonna see to it that Juniper's name is cleared. I'm sure you feel much the same way.
You got that right. I won't rest until Junie is completely cleared of all suspicion. Apollo, Athena. Thank you for doing this for me. Junie.
I can't do coughing, I'm sorry.
Hey, are you okay? Sorry about that. I always seem to go into coughing fits whenever I get nervous. This kind of thing never happens. At home in the forest, though. This is Juniper Woods. She's my dear, dear childhood friend. And she's also our client for this case.
Yeah.
The news keeps repeating that Junie is the alleged bomber. But that's ridiculous. There's no way Junie would do anything like that. I brought you a little snack, Athena. Just something from my garden. Hey, thanks. So, is this an orange or a tangerine? It's an orange. My grandma says that orange is the color of strength and endurance. Oh, I get it. Strength for the trial, right? Junie, you're always so good to me.
They're gay.
Jeez, look at me. Standing here clutching an orange to my chest with tears in my eyes. Well, don't you worry. He'll be so powerful in there, they won't know it hit him, right, Apollo?
Yeah, that's right. Come what may, this is one trial. You just can't lose. Apollo fucking died.
Apollo! Apollo?
Ugh.
Blood is seeping through his bandages. One of his wounds must have reopened. All this time he was trying to put on a brave face, but he was really overdoing it.
Mr. Justice? Gosh, I get to do the judge voice again. The Phoenix Wright games are so gay. Absolutely.
Huh?
Trial is about to start, sir. Please proceed to the courtroom.
What? Now? But Apollo's in no state to defend.
Ugh. I have to defend Juniper.
What are we gonna do? The trial's about to start, with or without us. There's only one other option I can think of at a time like this. But even if I called him now, he'd never get here in time. No, wait. There's something else I can do. Apollo, give me all the evidence for the case.
Huh? What are you gonna do?
Bailiff,
Yes, miss?
the defense would like to submit a substitution of attorney petition. Athena,
You're not seriously.
you just concentrate on getting better. I'll defend Junie.
All by yourself? Athena, stop for a second. Think about what you're saying. You've never once taken on a case alone before, right? No hay problema.
No hay problema. I can handle it, I think. But I guess it's really up to you, Junie. Would you be okay with me taking over? Sure. I believe in you, Athena. And that's enough for me. You're worried for me, aren't you? To be honest, I'm pretty nervous too. I think my heart might just burst out of my chest. But you're in no shape to stand at the bench now. So you'll just have to leave it to me.
Alright, I can see your mind's made up anyway. I hate it that I can't be there, but I know you'll give your utmost to defend Juniper.
You bet I will. Rest assured of that. My name is Athena Sykes. I'm still just a newbie, but I'm a lawyer. This is only the second time I've taken the lead in a defense case. It'll be the first time I stand up there alone, though. But I have to do this. And I'm definitely not about to let anything bad happen to Junie.
Yeah, Athena Sykes, because she's a psychologist. Look at how 3D the courtroom is. Court is now in session for the trial of Juniper Woods.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is also ready, Your Honor. Uh-huh. And what is the meaning of this? I was under the impression that Mr. Red Monkey would be my opponent today.
Yes, well, a substitution of attorney petition was submitted just a few moments ago. Due to the explosion in the courthouse yesterday, Mr. Justice is unable to continue.
I see, I see. Not at all surprised to use that as an excuse to run away.
Banana, this is a different character.
With me as an adversary, who wouldn't want to feign illness in order to escape?
What? The nerve of that guy. I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. Well, I would if I wasn't so nervous. Ugh, this arrogant jerk.
I fucking love Widget.
You arrogant jerk.
No, Widget.
My hearing getting worse. I could have sworn I heard the defense say something just now.
This is his brother. This isn't Winston, this is Gaspin.
No, you didn't hear anything at all, especially not from me.
How odd. I could have sworn I also heard something.
Oh, that would be my indispensable partner, Widget. He sometimes blurts out what I'm thinking.
Well then, if that's the case, then it's a clear contradiction to what you just said.
Younger brother. But yeah, Dual Destinies is a weird game. It's got plenty of issues, but what I know of from it, I really like.
Contradiction?
You just stated that you said nothing.
Younger by 30 minutes younger. I think he's like 5 years younger or something.
However, if that device of yours says what you're thinking, then you indeed said I was... what was it? Elegance at work.
Actually, it was arrogant jerk.
Like I said, some of Athena's facial expressions are a bit weird.
At any rate, what does it matter if it's Red Monkey or Yellow Monkey facing me? No fresh out of law school rookie can defend this witness.
Genetics don't work like that. Mr. Payne, I believe that's enough. Let's get back to the case.
Of course, Your Honor. I'm more than ready to show this little girl why they call me the Rookie Humiliator.
I knew it. He really is an arrogant jerk.
Arrogant jerk.
Sykes, if you continue to insult the prosecution, I will remove you from this court.
I'm very sorry. It was just a knee-jerk reaction.
Now then, Mr. Payne, your opening statement, if you please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now then. The incident occurred yesterday here at this very courthouse in courtroom number 4. At that time, the trial for a certain bombing was being held in courtroom number 4.
Yes, I was presiding over that trial as well. And Mr. Justice was there as the lawyer for the defense.
A bomb that was being presented as evidence suddenly went off during the trial. It was a terrible incident, and courtroom number 4 was completely destroyed. Fortunately, we were able to start evacuation procedures before the explosion occurred. Just a few seconds more and it would have been turned into a horrific loss of human life.
There was, in fact, one death, was there not?
That is correct, Your Honor. When courtroom number 4 was examined after the blast, the body of Detective Candace Arm was discovered.
Candace Arm. I fucking love Ace Attorney, man.
She was to take the stand as the witness later in the trial.
Candace Arm, the bomb squad expert. I suppose she wasn't able to evacuate in time. What a terrible tragedy. I must admit, I stumbled at least 10 times myself before I was able to escape.
Maybe the court should see about getting you even shorter robes.
The victim's body was found near the entrance to the courtroom. I suspect she stayed until the very end to help guide the others out safely. Your Honor, allow me to submit as evidence the victim's autopsy report and details about the bomb.
I really, this idol animation is really cute. I love the fiddling with her earring.
Okay, I know how this works. All evidence for the trial is filed on the court record. When I want to check something out, I just use R.
Also, this game specifically is a lot more explicit with its violence. You like most other Ace Attorney games wouldn't give you like the full like blood and everything here. But Dual Destinies is the one and only Ace Attorney game that's rated M as it's like by itself. Gasp in pain.
I'd better take a peek later.
Now then, please call the accused to the witness stand. As my volume, by the way. It's been a while since I've had to use the clamp setup. Defendant, are you feeling all right? You're looking a bit pale.
I'm so sorry. I was feeling a bit weak when I first arrived here at the courthouse. But I'm all right. Junie's really giving it her all. I'd better make sure I do the same.
If we could please proceed. Your name and occupation, defendant.
Juniper Woods. I'm a high school student.
Miss Woods, can you confirm you were in the courthouse on the day in question?
Yes. I came to know Apollo Justice through my friend Thena. And so, I was there yesterday. To watch his trial and lend my support. And something's wrong. Junie's really scared.
Did you know I'm also known as the Defendant Humiliator? It looks like I have yet another chance to show everyone how I earned that moniker.
Why is a high school student being framed for terrorism? Because it's an Ace Attorney game.
Does his arrogance know no bounds? I have to protect Junie no matter what. Hey, you arrogant Prosecutor Payne.
I drew this pose once. There's art on my Twitter of Athena in this pose.
What is it? Do you want me to demonstrate why I'm known as the Rookie Humiliator instead?
Deep breaths, Athena. Don't let him get to you. Prosecutor Payne, Junie is telling the truth. Mr. Justice also backed up her claim when we saw him in the defendant lobby. And Junie, he said that he was glad to get the lotus root you gave him too. He was? My grandma says that lotus root is good for your eyes. She says they can even help you see into the future. They can? Then that's the perfect present for a lawyer. And if that's true, I guess he must not have eaten them.
Sweet, meek girl like this, blowing a courtroom to bits. It wouldn't be the first time I've seen it. But I must say, it's very hard to believe.
Objection! Now, Your Honor. Don't let her seemingly innocent appearance fool you. The defendant had a motive for committing this crime.
That's not true. I don't have any kind of motive. And I didn't even know the lady who was killed.
I admit the investigation didn't turn up any connection between the victim and the defendant. However, that doesn't matter. The only thing that does is that her objective was the destruction of courtroom number 4 itself.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Why in the world would Miss Woods want to do that?
That's a very good question, coming from a novice such as yourself. But first, a question for the defendant. Have you ever been brought up on false charges?
What? Why, yes. Yes, I have.
And did that experience cause you to harbor a grudge against the court system?
Objection!
Now wait just 1 minute. If that kind of thing was a motive for blowing things up, then every one of our clients would turn into bombers.
That's a valid point. We wouldn't have a single courthouse left standing in the land.
I concede the accused isn't the only one who might bear resentment against the courts. But Miss Woods is the only person who could have committed this crime. Why? Because we have found some decisive evidence that proves the defendant's guilt.
Decisive, huh? I'll believe it when I see it.
It involves a very unique aspect of the bomb itself, Your Honor.
And what exactly was so unique about it?
Why don't we have Miss Sykes answer that question?
Huh? Me?
I noticed that you appear to be very nervous. And well, gentleman that I am, I'd like to offer you the chance to gain some confidence with such an easy question.
Could he be any more condescending? Really, what a thoroughly unpleasant man.
L is for loser. Huh. What did it just say?
Nothing. Not a single thing. Now let's see. What was I supposed to do at a time like this? Oh, I know. The court record. The information I need is somewhere in the court record.
All right, Miss Sykes, let's hear your answer. What was unique about the bomb that blew up the courtroom? Was it because it was in the judge's box? we don't get penalties for this. I want to say it's inside the judge's pocket just to see what he says. I'm not super familiar with the joke dialogue in this game. It was inside of Apollo's briefcase.
Let's see. I believe it was because it was in Mr. Justice's briefcase.
Don't tell me you intend to claim that it was Mr. Justice who committed the bombing.
What? No, of course not. I just thought maybe he brought it to the courtroom by mistake.
What kind of person makes a mistake like that?
What in the world am I blathering on about?
All right, let's try that again, shall we? Yep, cool.
The bomb was in Your Honor's pocket.
Miss Sykes, what on Sam Hill are you talking about?
Well, I tried to picture myself as the bomb. If I was in your pocket, you'd surely bring me into the courtroom, naturally.
I love Athena so much. The only things in my pocket are pictures of my grandchild. I would hardly have a bomb in there.
No, of course not. That would be silly now, wouldn't it? I think I'd better take another good look at through the court record.
All right, let's try that again, shall we? What is unique about the bomb inside a stuffed animal?
Mr. Payne, what kind of simpleton do you take me for? The kind that would get that question wrong twice in a row? It was stuffed inside a stuffed animal. Its evil intentions covered up by a cute exterior.
Very good. Have a cookie. The bomb that went off in the courtroom was indeed hidden inside a stuffed animal.
There, how do you like that? Not bad, huh? I am fine, just like I said from the start. I can do this.
Yes, as I recall, the bomb was inside a stuffed animal the whole time. I never even got to take a look at it. What connection does this impish elephant have with the defendant?
The answer to that question lies in another piece of evidence, which I have here.
And what, pray tell, is this? It appears to be a little singed.
It's a tale, Your Honor. The tale of a poor victim of the explosion.
This is incredible. Are you saying that's Detective Arm's tail?
Your Honor is so very close, but no. It belongs to this stuffed animal. It's called the Phony Fancy. A rather unpleasant name, if you ask me.
Mascot for a campaign to eliminate false evidence and false charges, is he not?
Exactly. His motto is phony evidence is just trunked up.
That's so wrong on so many levels.
The Phony Fancy's tail is made of vinyl cloth. And we found something very interesting on its surface. The defendant's fingerprints.
What?
The Phony Fancy provided the prosecution with all the evidence we needed. It clearly proves that the accused handled the bomb.
But that doesn't make any sense. Why would Junie's fingerprints be on it?
It does appear to be pretty irrefutable evidence. The court accepts it into evidence. Miss Woods, do you have an explanation for this?
I don't understand.
How about you, Miss Sykes? Do you have any plausible explanation to refute this decisive piece of evidence?
Well, I can't do it. I can't think of a single thing. But I'd better come up with something. For Junie's sake.
If you can't produce an answer, we could always go straight to the ruling, if you'd prefer.
No, I have to say something fast. Oh no, I can't get my voice to work. Why now of all times? I thought I overcame this already. Maybe I'm still not ready to stand in court.
I just realized I forgot to grab my water.
As you can see, there is no room for debate.
Objection!
Why, it's you.
The boy! Voiced by Sam Riegel. Sorry it took me so long to get here, Athena. Paul explained the whole thing to me over the phone. He asked me to come here to help you out in his place.
Thanks for coming. I hate to admit it, but I was having a real rough time on my own.
Oh, I don't know. I think you were doing just fine, all things considered. You hung in there, giving me enough time to get here. Now, let's turn things around.
You got it, boss.
Ho ho! Look who showed up out of the blue. If it isn't Mr. Phoenix Wright, you always manage to surprise me. Your Honor, Mr. Payne has called for an early ruling. But I believe there are still many things that need to be deliberated. That one. How did Miss Wood's fingerprints end up on the stuffed animal tail? Out of the blue, yeah. Athena's goofy ass faces, yeah. How was the bomb even detonated? Until these questions are answered, I assert that it's impossible for a fair ruling to be made. You're absolutely right. Let us continue from where we left off. I assume you have no objections, Mr. Payne.
Not at all, Your Honor.
Miss Woods really looks like she's having a hard time.
Junie's really struggling.
Whoops, that was way too high.
Junie's really struggling, Mr. Wright. I get the sense that she's afraid of the courtroom itself.
Because of yesterday? Yes, this is the bomb trial.
Yeah, it was understandably very traumatic to her.
Poor thing. Here she is, back at the courthouse again, being so brave. I'd like to make a request, Your Honor. If at all possible, I'd like to have Miss Woods rest in the lobby. Given the defendant's condition? Very well, I grant special permission.
You go get some rest, Junie, and leave the rest to us. Okay, thank you. Sorry about this.
Real quick, I'm gonna go grab my water because I totally just left my water on the table upstairs. I will be back in just a moment. This is the BRB button. Oh, I've been rotated. Giving you the cold shoulder.
Phoenix Wright. I've been looking forward to meeting you.
And it's been a while, Mr. Payne.
You're more clueless than I'd heard. I do believe you mean, how do you do? For I am Gaspin Payne. I am the younger brother of your long-standing rival, Winston Payne.
What? Long-standing rival? When were we ever rivals, let alone long-standing?
You'll see, Mr. Wright. I'll cleanse Winston of the disgrace he met with at your hands.
Wow, that was a difficult sentence. Looks like this royal pain is going to be as thoroughly unpleasant as the other. Yeah, the 3D models are a bit funky in this game. Because it's the first game that's got a... Well, to be fair, the gasp for Phoenix is literally based off of his sprite. That's his gasping sprite.
Your Honor. The prosecution would now like to call a decisive witness to the stand. The bomb itself. This witness will testify as to how the accused detonated the bomb in the courtroom.
Very well, please call your witness, Mr. Payne. The 3D and 2D have very different vibe.
Witness, your name and occupation, please.
Yes. Name Ted, I'm gonna read this out in like a normal voice. I'll give him a proper voice when he actually starts talking, but... The bird, the orca, and the bomb. The 3 most iconic witnesses, yeah. Name, Ted Tenate. Occupation, bomb disposal specialist. This is not his voice, this is just what I'm reading the computer text as. Oh my, what a strange robotic voice you have. It's like the, I just imagine it in like the shitty, like, AI, like, text-to-speech the, like, TikTok has that's just, like, it doesn't understand how like, inflections work.
Speech synthesis via typing is the same as me talking.
He sounds exactly like a robot.
Can't you speak in a normal manner? God, what voice do I give to Ted Tonate? I wish that this wasn't trial number 1, because if this wasn't trial number 1, I could just give him the Winston Payne voice. Same as Payne, eh?
I can.
You can?
But I do not like to speak. Speaking is inefficient. Energy expenditure, speaking greater than typing. Understand?
It's just a toned down Winston Payne voice. What an odd witness. Definitely not more odd than the one time that we had it's definitely not more odd than the one time that Phoenix insisted we cross-examine a bird, or that one other time that he insisted that we cross-examine an orca, but you haven't seen that one yet. That's in the DLC case for this game. What an odd witness. I actually don't remember where the DLC case goes. I can't remember if it's between 2 and 3 or 3 and 4.
Mr. Tonate was in charge of the bomb for that trial, and was there when it went off.
Being a bomb squad specialist, do you have any relation to the victim?
Negative. I first met the girl while on this job. Many people are employed by the police. I know only a fraction of them. However, I was shocked when I first discovered the body of the victim.
Shocked?
I was the first one on the scene after the explosion. I went there to ensure safety, but I ended up discovering a dead body.
So he was the first to discover the body, was he?
He's here to testify about the circumstances surrounding the moment of the explosion.
Very well, the court will hear Mr. Tonate's testimony. At the very least, show this court some respect and remove that face guard, witness.
Bomb was originally disarmed by me, and transported here as evidence. Bomb name HH3000, operated by a timer or with a remote. I was watching from the gallery when I suddenly became alarmed. I saw that the bomb's timer was counting down.
So even though the bomb was supposed to be disarmed, it somehow got switched on?
Precisely. Activating the timer is very simple. 1. Connect wires. 2. Switch on timer. A monkey could do it, as I'm sure even you would be able to, Mr. Wright.
I guess this makes you the blue monkey in this barrel of fun, boss.
I'd like to now begin my cross-examination. Huh? Mr. Tonate, what is that?
HH3000, aka a bomb.
A bomb? Right, googly moogly.
Yeah.
Mr. Tonate, I demand that you disarm it this instant.
Disassembly complete. 5.3 seconds. 0.02 seconds short of my personal best.
You trying to give me a heart attack? I'm not exactly a spring chicken, you know.
This is an exact replica of the HH3000. It's used to practice disarming bombs. Disarm equals success, explosion equals failure.
Exact replica of the bomb that exploded, is it? That's what it looked like.
I submitted a photograph of the real bomb taken just before the trial.
Dimensions. 10 inches height, or yeah. Wait. Yeah, 10 inches height, 10 inches width, 10 inches depth. Weight, 12 pounds. A perfect replication. Your bomb does appear to be a very good copy indeed. Yes, however, I could not replicate the detonation mechanism. It's a very puzzling wiring setup. It is regrettable I could not replicate it. Goodness, that's enough. There's no need to replicate anything here. And now, if the defense would begin their cross-examination. Where's Miss Sykes gone to? Athena, you can come out now. Yeah, we only just started.
Okay, Mr. Wright, let's get to work.
I guess you were pretty scared, huh?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
She was about to bolt.
Hey, put a sock in it, widget.
as transparent as ever.
Now, let's see. Where were we?
We're at the cross-examination.
Oh, cross-examination, of course.
She seems disoriented. I wonder if she's alright. Maybe I should ask Athena if she remembers how to cross-examine? Help her focus? Nah, she'll be fine. Nah, no need for that right now. She'll be fine.
I'll do everything I can to help. If you can't find any contradictions, and you flub up too often, don't be afraid to ask me for help. Press X when the option to consult with me appears. Yep, cool. I'll let you know where I think the suspicious statement is.
Sounds good. I'll be counting on you if I get in a bind. Alright, it's cross-examination time. My favorite part of Ace Attorney is when Phoenix Wright said it's Ace Attorneying time. They actually have animations between them instead of snapping to their new pose. Plus, the model quality in DGS is just better overall.
The bomb was originally disarmed by me, then transported here as evidence.
Hold it!
You say that you disarmed the bomb, but are you really sure it was disarmed?
Absolutely. I can disarm anything.
Hey, Dash.
In a flash.
That looks more like dismantle than disarm to me. What is Beanage? It throws stuff at me.
No, pardon me.
Let's see. Is there any chance you could have forgotten to disarm the bomb?
Impossible. I do not make rudimentary mistakes like that.
They say to err is human. Although the jury's still out on this guy. Hey Squiggles, how are you doing? Graphics update? I don't think that the like upgrade happens until the Great Ace Attorney duology. I don't think that this game looks bad. I think it's closer to a side grade than a upgrade. But yeah, how are you doing, Squiggles? It's been a sec.
If you must know, Mr. Wright, according to the court's own records, the fact that the bomb had indeed been disarmed was officially confirmed.
It's not bad. I think, work's kept you busy. Understandable. My biggest issue with the Dual Destinies character models is that, this is gonna sound really stupid. I think that the models in this game, like the new original character models, are too expressive. Athena's facial expressions are way too expressive for the way that, for what they're going for, you know? Not working 12s as much anymore. Your sleep schedule. shifted more into the morning. That's fair. I guess I can rule out the possibility that he forgot to disarm it. Oh, I'm going to put out a schedule on Wednesday. I'm gonna put out my schedule on Wednesday because not Wednesday, on Tuesday, because Tuesday is a week out from my birthday, and we're doing something special for my birthday. Yeah, the 3D doesn't need nearly as much exaggeration as the 2D does. I guess I can rule out the possibility that he forgot to disarm it. Did you talk about the bomb in a little more detail for the court, Mr. Tonate? Oh, I should have turned that off. Dash. How do I refund points? Phoenix with the girl voice. I don't want to... Yeah, I forgot to disable that. That's not supposed to be enabled. How do... Oh, wait, I'm not in mod view. That's why. How do you turn on mod view? I know that you can refund points in mod view, but I don't know how to do it in like the creator dashboard. The sword? Sword where? Okay, if you say so, Dash.
Certainly. Bomb name HH3000. Operated by a timer with a remote.
Hold it!
Should be next to the chat. Mod actions. Requests queue. Thank you for hitting me with a million beanages. There you go. Have some points, Dash. It just keeps going. Wait, what do you mean I have beanage set to 1,000? I could have sworn that I had that set to less points. I could have sworn that that was set to like 500. Just got jumped, yeah. What was the approximate size and weight of the bomb?
Dimensions 10, 12. This information is also written on the photograph.
Ah yes, it is on the back. According to this, the case is made out of alloy plating, 5/16 of an inch thick. That certainly sounds like one thick and very heavy bit of metal.
I bet if I dropped that thing on your foot, you'd be hopping.
Drop that thing anywhere, I'd be hopping for the nearest exit. Very well, I believe the court has heard enough about the bomb itself. Oh, Mr. Tonate? Man, I can't wait until we play the Ace Attorney, Professor Layton crossover, because there's a part where Maya, smacks Phoenix over the head with a lead pipe. Oh, Mr. Tonate, were you keeping an eye on the bomb? Where were you watching from?
I was watching from the gallery. when I suddenly became alarmed.
Hold it!
Not only that, it's like in first person as well. Like the look that like the camera view that you get from Thank you for the hydrate, Dash, and thank you for the 1.5 million beanages. But yeah, it's like the view of Phoenix looking at Athena. It's literally just that, but Maya smacks you over the head with a lead pipe. Why were you in the gallery?
My duties may have been over for the moment, but I wanted to keep watch. Though the bomb was disarmed, you can never be too careful. Explosive devices are very dangerous things.
Ah, how admirably responsible of you. A model to be emulated.
I practice disarming bombs every day. I practice assembling them too.
Disarming part I get, but assembling them?
Well, I'll have you know that I practice presenting evidence every day myself.
I see. Do you ever practice having evidence presented to you?
Presented to me? What? No,
And you cannot very well call yourself a professional yet, can you?
That does it. I'm gonna start practicing having evidence presented to me every day. And you'd better drink some coffee, boss. We're gonna be pulling an all-nighter.
I don't think that'll be necessary. Or worth either of our time. Oh, Mr. Toenaid. What did you witness from the gallery?
I witnessed Phoenix kissing Edgeworth on the side. I saw that the bomb's timer was counting down.
Oh, whoops.
So you're trying to find the testimony that conflicts with the evidence, right?
That's right. Listening carefully to Mr. Toenaid's testimony is just the first step. After that, it's a matter of taking a look at any evidence that seems relevant.
Remember that you'll open the court record when you go to present something, or how do I say that with my mouth? If you find evidence that conflicts with the testimony, present it. Let's see, this testimony is about when the bomb went off. So I think the state it was in at the time would be pretty important.
Bomb that didn't look like a bomb because it was inside a stuffed animal, huh? Yeah, because he literally couldn't have seen it.
Objection!
So you say you saw the bomb's countdown. Is that right?
Of course. I clearly saw it counting down to 0.
And I say that you're clearly lying.
What are you talking about?
There's no way you could have seen the bomb's timer. After all, the bomb was concealed inside a stuffed animal. Mr. Toenaid, how can you claim to know the bomb was about to go off when you couldn't even see the timer?
Yeah, that What? No!
That does seem like a glaring inconsistency indeed. Witness, how do you explain this?
Well,
Oh, that was great, Mr. Wright.
One other thing that I always notice about Athena's models, I love Athena, I'm not giving it shit, but Athena's mouth is really big on like 90% of her faces.
You found a contradiction right off the bat.
Always remember, Athena, when you find an inconsistency in a witness's testimony, there's always a reason behind it. It could be a lie, a hidden meaning, a secret. Whatever it is, it's up to us to dig it out.
And pointing out every contradiction we find is the best way to do it, right, boss?
Now the question is, what can we dig out of Mr. Toenaid?
Well, let me see. No. Must be some mistake. Oh, yes, of course. I remember now. The sound. I knew because of the sound.
Sound? What sound?
The timer of this type of bomb is switched on. It beeps softly. Beep, beep, beep. The sound of the bomb counting down.
Beeping noise, you say? I suppose it would be possible to notice that even with the bomb inside the stuffed animal.
I simply made a mistake. My bad.
Objection!
How in the world did you hear such a tiny little sound all the way from the gallery? Also, Phoenix now has finger wiggles like Edgeworth did. He picked up the finger wiggle technique from his boyfriend. Read into that statement how you will.
Listening for the sound of a bomb's timer is an integral part of my work. I constantly undergo training so that I'll never miss it.
I hardly think training would help you hear something so soft from so far away. What now?
You making light of the fine science of disarming bombs? It's a solemn mission that I put my life on the line to perform. What kind of specialist would I be if I could not hear a bomb's timer? It's not like disassembling a toaster, you know?
Now he's just showing off.
You keep asserting that the sound was too tiny to hear. The only thing here is your skill as a lawyer.
Wait, what? The only thing tiny here.
The only thing tiny here.
Why does that feel like an Edgeworth line? Do you think Edgeworth says that to Phoenix in the bedroom? The only thing tiny here is your skill as a lawyer.
Being mistrustful is not an attractive quality, you know.
And you're just overflowing with attractive qualities, are you?
Or perhaps you have some proof that Mr. Tony did not hear the sound.
Well, no, but still seems totally suspect. But it's going to be really hard to prove that he didn't hear something. Yeah, proving a negative is really difficult. If I have this correct, the prosecution's argument is that one reactivated the bomb before it was brought into the courtroom. I don't understand, Mr. Payne, is why you believe that person to be Miss Woods.
That's simple, Your Honor. Mr. Tonate happened to be there when it happened.
Why does Payne look like he just discovered emo music? This is Winston Payne's younger brother. This is Gaspin Payne. He's going through his scene phase at 55, I think is what his age was. Oh, whoops. 55. Also, Apollo is a JoJo character now. Also, one thing that I really like, Athena Sykes, her whole deal is that she's like, she's very proficient with like analytical psychology, and that's like a minor spoiler, but her the light reflection in her hair is supposed to resemble an EKG.
He was there when the defendant rearmed the bomb.
What's this now? What's that you say?
Happened before the trial started. It was when Detective Arm and I were transporting the bomb. Brought the bomb to the lobby for the defense.
English? What? English or Spanish? What do you mean? Isn't an EKG the Whoever moves first is gay. Don't mind me, I'm just gonna wiggle. EKG is the little beeping heart machine, right? The heart rate monitor. It's supposed to be an EKG. It's supposed to be a heart rate monitor.
Brought the bomb to the lobby for the defense. Bomb equals evidence. The lawyer wanted to see it before the start of the trial. Looking for a chance to get at the bomb, Miss Woods was already there in that lobby. Her goal was surely to rearm the bomb and steal the remote switch.
The remote switch?
Yes, the switch that controls the bomb remotely, duh. It's been missing ever since the incident. I'm partially to blame. I left the bomb and the remote on top of the transport case. They were rearmed and stolen while I was talking with the lawyer. The defendant then used the remote from inside the courtroom to start the timer.
Objection!
How can you assert so unequivocally that the bomb was rearmed in the lobby? Also, I totally forgot that part of Phoenix's redesign is also the locket chain in his suit pocket that's got the locket with the picture of Trucy in it.
Objection!
The bomb was safely secured in the transport case. The only time it was outside the case was in that lobby. Therefore, that was the one and only opportunity anyone had to meddle with it.
Someone other than Mr. Tonate could have opened the case and taken the bomb out.
Impossible. Transport case is assigned to exclusively me.
These two Payne and these are the same voice.
You see the number here? That's my identification number. And I have the only key that can open the case.
Nevertheless, Mr. Payne's assertion is nothing more than conjecture. You have no proof that it was Miss Woods who stole the remote switch.
And by the same token, you have no proof that it wasn't her. What I do have is a piece of evidence that proves the defendant handled the bomb.
Ah, the tail.
5 minutes, 24 seconds. 2.3 deciseconds. Defense's advantage lasted a mere 5 minutes.
Objection, that case opens with a TSA 3 key, which is widely available. True. Talk about a rotten hand. As long as they have our fingerprints as their trump card, I'm at a big disadvantage. Mr. Wright, it's been like 6 months since you last played poker. Stop making poker metaphors. It appears that we'll have to hear from the defendant herself once more. Ooh, is it Mood Matrix? Is it Mood Matrix time?
I wholeheartedly agree, Your Honor. I would like to recall Miss Woods to the stand.
I trust you have no objections, Mr. Wright. I'm worried about her condition, but we do need her testimony. On the other hand, I'm not sure I want to make Athena mad.
I can read your feelings, you know, boss.
Guess there's no hiding from her, huh?
Don't worry. I know we need her testimony. But if anybody picks on her again, they'll pay.
Yeah, she's already at anger level 1.
Don't worry. I'll stop the proceedings before I let anything bad happen to her.
Defense has no objections, Your Honor.
In that case, I'll take my leave. Or I do, there's just one more thing. Mr. Wright, is it?
Me? Yes?
Dismantling bombs is my job. Dismantling the case is yours. Do you think you can handle it?
I look forward to seeing you try. Ugh. This guy is hiding something. I just know it.
Now, if you'll excuse me.
I hope that the voice for Mr. Tonate is, like, coming through properly. Bailiff, please go out to the lobby and bring back the defendant.
Junie.
Yeah.
Hi, Athena.
Looks even worse off than before.
Don't worry, Junie. We're here for you. Thanks, Thena. And I'll do my best, too.
You blew up the courtroom because you bear resentment against the courts, right? Correct?
No, of course not.
What's that you say? I can barely hear you.
I haven't done anything wrong. This prosecutor's scary.
Objection!
What an impudent little girl. Stop acting innocent and tell the truth.
This is getting ugly.
You rearmed the bomb because you wanted to blow up the courthouse. Admit it. That's why you went to the lobby where Mr. Justice was, isn't that right?
Mr. Wright, can I go give that prosecutor a smack?
What? Of course not. We have to review Courtroom Manners 101 again?
We can't let a creep that bullies innocent girls like this off so easily.
I haven't forgotten about how he treated you.
Don't worry about me, just help Junie. Her heart's crying out. She's so scared. So very scared.
It's like Athena's picking something up with her heightened sense of hearing. Here's our magical lawyer superpower, number, like, 4 technically, but it's number 3 that we've experienced. We haven't experienced Miles Edgeworth's lawyer superpower of basic logic yet. That's gonna happen in September. It sounds like this time, it's the voice of Miss Woods' heart.
Don't deny it. You stole the remote switch and used it in the courtroom, didn't you?
Objection!
Your Honor, please put a stop to this. Mr. Payne is badgering the defendant.
Yes, Miss Woods does seem quite frightened. Mr. Payne, I ask you to behave more like a gentleman.
Ah, but don't you know, Your Honor? There's no more a gentle man in this world than I. My boyfriend said so.
As if a gentleman or even a gentle man would behave like he does. Don't let that rude ruffian win. Athena.
How dare you call a gentleman such as I rude ruffian? Only my boyfriend can call me that.
I'm sorry, it's the same joke every time, but it's...
I'll have you know I attend a manners class every Saturday. I'm more than just a mere gentleman. I'm a genteel man.
Not when you're terrorizing a young lady, you're not. I'd demand my money back from that manners class if I were you.
Ugh.
I should probably be the adult here and stop the two of them, but... Mr. Payne, that'll be enough.
Certainly, Your Honor. No further questions. Let's move on to the defendant's testimony. Miss Woods, please share with the court what you were doing when the bomb went off.
Well, that day I was watching from the gallery. The bomb went off. And rubble started falling. It fell on top of me. Junie's clearly in pain being forced to recall the bombing like this. She can't even get her words out.
This isn't going to work, so what now? Hey, wait a minute. Even if she can't vocalize what she wants to say, we can listen to what's inside her heart. Yes, now's the perfect time to use Athena's power. You can hear it, can't you, Athena? Cries of Miss Woods' heart.
Yes, and they sound incredibly strained.
Mood Matrix.
She's so scared. I think she could collapse at any second.
Athena has a unique ability, you see. Her finely tuned sense of hearing, she can hear the words of a witness's heart. In essence, she can sense how a person is really feeling from the tone of their voice. I guess it's all up to Athena and her special ability now. Athena, I want you to use the analytical psychology you studied, and listen to the testimony of Miss Woods' heart.
Okay, boss, I'll give it a go. After all, this is the whole reason I put all that effort into studying analytical psychology.
What language is that? What language is that? Is that... I could see that being, like, either French or, like... Actually, I think that is French. I think that's French. I assume that that's just pronounced as, like, either Auf gets or Oof gets. I don't know how AUF is pronounced.
Auf gets. Let's do this.
I probably butchered that pronunciation, but... So your holographic thingamabob can show us how Miss Woods is feeling, right?
In a nutshell, yes. The emotions and images that I picked up on just now while listening to her testimony. I can enter all of that into Widget and use the Mood Matrix to analyze them.
Mood Matrix! Okay. I don't understand why people don't like this mechanic. I like this mechanic. From what little of this game I've played. I haven't experienced, like, you know, late game Mood Matrix stuff, but I like the Mood Matrix from what it's done.
These mood markers here reflect fluctuations in Junie's emotions. When she feels happy or is enjoying the memory, the happy marker will... The happy marker will light up. When she feels angry or frustrated, the angry marker will react. Why is this so difficult for me to read? When she feels sadness or is frightened by a memory, the sad marker will blink. And when she feels surprised or confused, the surprised marker will let us know.
So with your special ability in Widget's Mood Matrix program, we can track how Miss Woods is feeling as she testifies. Talk about the wonders of technology.
Yep, now let's give it a shot. I'm picking up on some kind of discord, or noise in Junie's heart. And see here, this is what the noise looks like in the Mood Matrix. It's a result of inconsistencies between her testimony and her feelings.
Welcome, we're doing science shit. Athena has the magic superpower of being able to, she's a human lie detector, basically. But it's like, lie detection is in, like, emotions. So she can tell what you're feeling based on how you speak.
If we can pinpoint these inconsistencies, the noise level should drop.
Okay, it's time to listen to Miss Woods' true testimony.
Well, that day, I was watching from the gallery, and the bomb went off, and rubble started falling. It fell on top of me.
Okay, I actually don't remember. I didn't see a present button, so I guess I just had to go through the testimony the first time to do it.
I think I have a good grasp on Junie's emotional state now.
This power of Athena's is incredible.
And I'm seeing an unexpected emotion that's inconsistent with the content of her testimony.
What? Already? Yeah, it's the happy.
Look at this. When she says it fell on top of me, the happy marker is reacting.
Well, look at that. That is odd.
There must be a reason for this contradictory emotion. We just need to do some digging. When you find an unexpected emotion, you'll first need to pinpoint it. Then select the unexpected emotion or reaction from the 4 mood markers with A.
It is like the ticks in Apollo Justice, but it's a lot more. Apollo's is basically just a superpower. All of them are superpowers, to be honest, but like it's emotion reading because Athena has a very sharp sense of hearing that she was born with. Widget is registering joy when Miss Woods recalls the rubble falling on her. There must be a reason for this unexpected emotion. Miss Woods, as the rubble was falling, there was also something, or was there also something that made you feel happy?
What? Mr. Wright, the feeling of happiness is spreading throughout Junie's heart. Keep going on this point, and I bet Junie will start to calm down.
Great, let's hear what she has to say.
Just as I was about to escape the courtroom, the bomb went off. I was so startled, I tripped. And then rubble started falling on top of me. I really thought I was done for. But just then...
Wait, what's an A button? To be fair, to be fair, technically speaking, she is using, like, Widget is her little necklace. It's basically a portable computer, and she's using that. So the A button could just be a thing in that.
Apollo came and rescued me. Apollo? He used his own body to shield me from the rubble.
So that's when he sustained those injuries.
How do you feel, Junie? Did talking about Apollo give you some courage? Yes, Apollo is just like the sun. And strong and bright and warm. He's even named after it. Just talking about him makes me feel like a leaf undergoing photosynthesis.
The fucking SpongeBob has forever ruined the word photosynthesis for me. I always think of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis.
And see, your coughing stopped all of a sudden. Oh, you're right. Thank you, Thena.
Looks like we were able to draw out some new testimony. We could pretend to be plants, yeah.
Pretty neat, huh? But there's still some noise left, meaning there must still be some discord in Junie's heart.
Yeah. Edgy Apollo Justice. We love him. Mm. Sorry, I needed hydration. I guess we'll have to keep going then.
Let me input this new information and update the mood matrix, and we'll be good to go.
I'm surprised that that's what ruined the word Discord for you and not the app Discord.
You remember what to do, right?
I find an unexpected emotion. I should first pinpoint it.
That's right, and you select it from the mood markers with A. If we can find the reason for the discord in her heart, Then we should be able to draw even more new testimony out. I tried to run, but I was too slow. Before I could get away, the bomb went off. I was so startled I tripped. Then rubble started falling on me.
Yeah, that's fair.
I thought I was done for. But then Apollo came and rescued me.
You were happy when Mr. Justice rescued you, weren't you?
Yes, I was really happy.
Was there also something you felt sad about at the same time?
And sad?
The reason I ask is, when you were describing how you were rescued, we sensed a little sadness too.
Oh, I think that's probably because of Bumrap Riney.
Bumrap Riney? Or Rhyme? Yeah, Riney. Well, what do you know? Something new.
That's right. I brought my stuffed animal, Bumrap Riney, to watch the trial with me. Bumrap Riney and Phony Fancy are brothers.
Who knew that the legal world could inspire a whole line of merchandise? Phoenix says, not realizing that in the Investigations games there's a Blue Badger themed theme park.
I had Bumrap Riney with me when I was watching the trial. But it wasn't until Apollo saved me that I realized I'd lost him as I was running away. My poor Riney, a victim of that terrible bomb. Oh, I know. You can see what he looks like in this poster.
Wait. Wait. How in the world did I never notice? This is a reference to the... This is a reference to the American box art of Ace Attorney 1. You've got the big judge up in the top left, Phoenix down in the bottom right, and then on the Ace Attorney 1 box art, you've got big evil looking Edgeworth up in the top right corner.
It's for the campaign to eradicate fake evidence and false charges.
Phony Fancy and Bumrap Riney, huh? Nothing against the campaign, but why an elephant and a rhinoceros?
Mr. Wright, I don't sense any discord in Junie's heart anymore.
So I guess that means we managed to draw out all of her testimony.
That's right. I'll just make an update with the new info and we'll have the whole picture. So, do you think our new testimony will help?
Absolutely. I don't know what I would have done without you, Athena. Bumrap Riney was in that courtroom when the bomb went off. Now that we know that, it changes the meaning of that other piece of evidence. All I have to do is present it. The right statement. Oh, wait.
I was watching from the gallery with Bumrap Riney. I tried to run, but I was too slow. Before I could get out of the courtroom, the bomb went off. I was so startled I tripped. Then rubble started falling. I thought I was done for. But then Apollo came and rescued me.
It's the first statement. We have to present the tale in the first statement.
Objection!
Miss Woods, I know this trial's been very hard for you. But you can relax now. You are without a doubt innocent. Mr. Wright, what wild assertion are you making now? My wild assertion is simply this. The two stuffed animals were mixed up. The tail the defendant's fingerprints were found on wasn't that of Phony Fancy. There's the tale of her gallery companion, Bumrap Riney.
What? What nonsense is that? I concede they're both stuffed animals, yes, but they're completely different characters. An elephant and a rhino. They're as distinct as a defense lawyer and a prosecutor. They're also color-coded like you and your boyfriend.
You know, I don't mind the music in this game. I don't mind the music in this game, but it's definitely not my favorite. My favorite is probably Apollo Justice, if I'm not if I'm not gonna lie. Ace Attorney 1 has got really good music, but Apollo Justice is just Great Ace Attorney has some really damn good music too. Are they really so different? Both defense lawyers and prosecutors strive to protect the peace through law.
Even elephants and rhinos have some similar characteristics. They're both gray, for example.
Anyway, this poster is all I need to prove my assertion to be true. If I may direct the court's attention here, you'll clearly see how the two got mixed up.
Take that!
Athena, what the fuck are you talking about? Hisachi, how are you doing? I like your first statement, Banana. That's Gaspin Payne would definitely be a closeted gay man that's secretly gay. That's a good sentence. I like that sentence. Well, would you look at that? Or would you look at that? Two tails are exactly the same. Yes, exactly. The two stuffed animals are based on entirely different animals, but the design of their tails is exactly the same. AP from the first day of your course. Nice. I'm glad. I hope that you had a good time with your course. Order in the court. As long as the possibility exists that the tail belongs to Bumrap Riney, we can no longer consider it to be a decisive proof that the defendant handled the bomb. As things stand, I consider the charges against the accused unsubstantiated. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Payne? It's a good first date. Nice.
Oh, yes, of course, Your Honor.
Oh, that was great, Mr. Wright. You turned things right around.
Yeah, it's not over yet, but at least we managed to hold out this long. I believe that brings our proceedings for today to a close. Mr. Payne, I'm afraid you'll have some serious investigating, have you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. Let us reconvene tomorrow. What is adjourned?
That was so exciting, boss. We did it. True to form, you managed to just barely pull it off at the very last moment.
True to form? Gee, I never knew you had such a glowing opinion of me.
Thank you for everything. Thank you for everything you're doing.
You did great, Miss Woods. You really stuck it out.
And you got really brave at the end, just when we needed you most, Junie. Thanks to you, we were able to turn things around. Well, you were the one who gave me that courage, Thena. Really? Thanks. To be honest, was I any help at all? Or, so be honest, was I any help at all?
Of course. Without you, we would have never gotten out of that tight spot.
That's good to hear. definitely still have a lot to learn, but you can bet I'm going to give it my all.
See, like, okay, the mouth on this sprite is properly proportioned, but the mouth on most of her other ones is not.
I'll be so good that one day you'll call me your partner.
That's what I like to hear. Analytical psychology. The ability to solve the riddles of a person's heart. How old is Phoenix in this game? He's not in the court record. Cool. Yeah, Athena's great. Analytical psychology. The ability to solve the riddles of a person's heart. Athena's true potential is beginning to really shine through now.
Hey, where's Apollo anyway?
Good question. I almost forgot about him. I assumed he'd still be here in the lobby. How long until Nick gets smacked over the head with a fire extinguisher? Negative, like, 8 years at this point. 9 years. 10 years.
Oh, I know. Maybe he's still in courtroom number 4.
Courtroom number 4? What would he be doing at the scene of the explosion? Exia Quantia, were you trying to post a link? Because posting links will asterisk it out. Also, welcome in. Said my name. I was busy brooding. Every good Phoenix Nick Wright needs a good fire extinguisher to head once every 8 years. Room number 4? What would he be doing at the scene of the explosion?
When I came out to the lobby to rest, I told Apollo about Bumrap Riney. I told him I dropped Riney in the courtroom, and I was trying to escape before the blast. And then Apollo said he had an idea where Riney might be, so we went to take a look together. Huh. I guess Apollo can be pretty nice when he wants to be.
You think getting beat over the head is Apollo's love language, or Phoenix's love language? I think based on the evidence of the rest of the game series, I think Phoenix likes being talked down to.
I guess Apollo can be pretty nice when he wants to be.
So you went looking for Riney together before you were called back into courtroom number 5?
Yes. I'd had some time to rest, so I was able to go and look for him. But then they called me into courtroom number 5 to testify. Apollo insisted on staying there, though. With all those injuries, I wonder how he's managing. I think Apollo might have figured something out.
Wonder what it was.
He told me, I'm going to look for evidence to clear your name, Juniper.
And just maybe he found some new piece of evidence.
Anyway, we'd better go see him. Or go and get him.
Good idea. You ready for an animated cutscene?
Where are you, Apollo? Trial's over for today. Come on, I know you're... No.
Apollo fucking died. Who voices Athena? Her voice sounds very familiar, but I can't put my finger on it. He's dead. The Apollo Justice trilogy is over. A body has been discovered. See, there's a part of me that really wants to stream the Danganronpa games, and there's another part of me that doesn't want to touch them on stream with a 10-foot pole. But wait, he's actually alive. No, that right there is the timeline branch. If you've never seen the Ace Attorney branching timelines meme, you go through, the first 3 is a straight line, and then you either branch off into the Layton crossover, which is the Layton crossover, and then Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and it's Phoenix goes to Britain and starts punching people. And then the other branch of the timeline is Phoenix stays sane, and then it's Apollo, and it branches off, and it's just Apollo gets brain damage on one side, and then it's Ace Attorney 5 and 6, and Apollo stays sane as a golf game that Apollo Justice is in. This isn't exactly how I envisioned the second day of this trial to start. But given how things ended yesterday... Good morning. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, or Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 has Phoenix Wright as a fighter in it. And so that's the Phoenix goes crazy and starts punching people timeline. The mood sure is tense. Not that that's any surprise.
Oh, hey. Did you read the paper this morning, boss?
Huh? Paper? That came out of left field.
You didn't read it? Then you don't know the big news? And somebody spotted an abominable snowman way up in the mountains.
Tell me you know the difference between a paper and a tabloid, Athena. Phoenix, she's 18.
It might show up in the forest where you live, Junie. So you'd better watch out, okay? You really should read the story for yourself. I couldn't even begin to do it justice. Justice?
Yeah. I actually don't even, like, Phoenix Wright in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, like, if I'm not mistaken, Phoenix Wright isn't even a great character. He's like a mid-tier. I just realized that's why I was struggling with my chair. I forgot to lock my chair so it wouldn't lean back as far.
Huh? Oh, poor Apollo. And it's all my fault.
He's a joke character who becomes god tier when he finds the evidence. Really?
Athena! Oh, Junie, what was I thinking? I'm so sorry.
What we found yesterday was not Apollo's dead body, thank goodness. He'd been assaulted by someone with a blow to his head and was lying unconscious. We rushed him to the hospital right away, and it looks like he's going to pull through. But it was still quite a shock to stumble onto a scene like that. Is Miss Woods all right, Athena?
Well, I managed to get her to stop crying. Now she's resting on that sofa over there. You can't see her, don't look.
I guess she really feels responsible for what happened to Apollo.
She's not resting on the couch. She's resting inside the couch. That's why you can't see her. Poor Junie. She believes the reason Apollo was attacked is because he was helping her look for something in that courtroom.
Oh, I guess I can see why she'd think that. Also, shit, I forgot her name. Athena's design reminds me a lot of, Lynn, I think is her name? The girl from Ghost Trick?
I kissed her goodnight. Now she's sleeping. Don't bother her.
Oh, I guess I can see why she'd think that. By the way, how are you doing?
Oh, me?
Yeah, I know you're concerned about Miss Woods, but are you alright?
Me? I'm doing just fine, boss. I mean, yeah, it was a huge shock, but I'm alright. People who have studied analytical psychology are great at times like these. After all, they've learned how to control their own emotions too.
Lynn from Fire Emblem? Okay. Maybe a bit with the hair. But, not really. Nah, I meant Lynn, the girl who dies like 7 times. Because Ghost Trick is Ghost Trick. Somehow, I don't think it's as easy as she makes it sound. You may be smiling, but Widget tells all. There's no denying she's a real trooper. Apollo doesn't remember a thing, does he?
Yeah, he can't recall anything from the time right before he was assaulted. Nothing about what he was doing in courtroom number 4, or who assaulted him. The doctor said it's probably due to that hit that he took to the head.
Assaulted in a court of law and losing your memory at that. I know how that feels. There you go, Sachi. There's the reference to the fire extinguisher.
But who in the world would do such a thing, huh, Mr. Wright? Just wait till I get my hands on the coward who hurt our Apollo.
Now, Athena. I thought you said you were in control of your emotions. Let's just focus on helping Miss Woods, okay? But I admit, I'm just as upset as you.
Okay, boss, you're right. Apollo's assailant can wait until after we clear Junie's name.
That's the spirit.
What did you think, Phoenix? My girlfriend's being accused of bombing a courtroom, Apollo has brain damage, and I have no idea if we'll win this case. How do you think I'm feeling, huh?
Don't worry, Athena. Everything will be alright.
Phoenix, I don't think you understand. Apollo has brain damage.
Now let's see. I better check the court record one more time before the trial starts.
Earth to Mr. Wright. I'm ready whenever you are.
Alright, let's get ready to rumble.
You bet.
I'm gonna throw Prosecutor Payne over the over the prosecution's bench if it's the last thing I do, Athena. Everything that happened with Apollo, I didn't even have time for a proper investigation. I can't let that stop me, though. I have to get this right, for Miss Wood's sake, and Apollo's too. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Juniper Woods.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Defense is also ready, Your Honor. Now then, I believe I instructed the prosecution further their investigation. Were you able to locate the remote switch in question?
I'm afraid the remote switch is still missing, Your Honor.
I must say, I'm disappointed, Mr. Payne. Not angry, just disappointed.
I apologize, Your Honor.
Aha! It's like the prosecution is just as unprepared as I am.
There is a separate matter, however, that I would like to bring up during this trial.
A separate matter, you say? And what might that be?
I assume you're aware that another incident occurred during yesterday's trial. I'm speaking, of course, of the assault on Mr. Justice in the ruins of Courtroom number 4.
Oh, why is he bringing that up? Yes, what a truly harrowing experience it must have been. For Mr. Justice.
At the time of the attack, Mr. Justice was not alone. He was with the defendant, Miss Juniper Woods.
He isn't going where I think he's going with this, is he?
The prosecution wishes to indict Miss Woods on the charge of Mr. Justice's assault.
Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the incident under deliberation is the courtroom bombing. The assault on Mr. Justice has nothing to do with this trial.
But I believe there is a connection between this case and Mr. Justice's assault. Please take a moment to consider these facts. Both events occurred in courtroom number 4. This is the location in courtroom number 4 where the unconscious Mr. Justice was discovered. As you can see, it's quite close to where where Detective Arm's body was found. The question is, why did the culprit feel the need to maliciously attack Mr. Justice?
That's really funny. Your message got caught by the auto mod banana. Fuck, you mean quite close. That's like on the other side of the rubble, you dumb fuck, yeah. Why indeed? What do you believe that their motive to be, Mr. Payne?
I believe Mr. Justice found something in that courtroom while Miss Woods was with him. Evidence that fingered her as the perpetrator in the bombing.
Sorry, my brain is in a place currently. I mean, he found some incriminating evidence.
No, they fucked in the courtroom ruins. Nothing but a little bit of blunt force trauma to the skull to really spice up the sex, you know? Precisely. And so I surmise that the defendant picked up a piece of rubble and hit Mr. Justice on the back of the head in order to silence him.
Objection!
Junie would never do such a thing. She was devastated when we found Apollo hurt like that.
Miss Sykes, please control your outbursts.
It is the prosecution's belief that by deliberating on Mr. Justice's assault, we will draw ever closer to the truth of the courtroom bombing itself.
Very well. Miss Woods is hereby officially indicted on the charge of assaulting Mr. Justice. What? Why are you listening to Mr. Toupee over there? Although, considering our conversation yesterday...
I think Apollo might have figured something out.
Wonder what it was.
He told me, I'm going to look for evidence to clear your name, Juniper.
Mr. Payne, I must tell you not to talk about your sex life in the courtroom. It makes Mr. Wright uncomfortable. I must also ask that you don't talk about Mr. Wright's sex life in the courtroom, despite the fact that we all know about it. Maybe the two incidents really are related after all.
I would like to start by hearing from the defendant herself.
Very well. Bailiff, please bring Miss Woods to the witness stand. Oh. Two of you are putting me to fucking sleep. Edgeworth is in this game, actually. Minor spoiler alert. He makes a very, very minor appearance in this game. He shows up for like a split second, says hi, and then leaves.
I'm sorry. I can't seem to stop.
Miss Woods. She's still really upset about Apollo.
Miss Woods, you went to the ruins of courtroom number 4 with Mr. Justice, did you not?
So it's not when the Blue Badger fucking kills him. That's from Investigations 1, if I'm not mistaken. It might be Investigations 2, but I'm pretty sure that that's case 3 of Investigations 1.
Yes, I did.
Good, good. If you would then, please testify about what happened to the court.
Single statement long testimony. We fucked. The end.
During the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing.
She's just like...
She's like, we fucked.
And then Athena's over here like, what? Edgeworth would call Phoenix's gifts evidence of Phoenix's love. Absolutely. Greatest image of the whole Ace Attorney series. What about the image that they used for the Investigations collection announcement trailer? That's Edgeworth like pulling the coat over his arms. That everyone has memed with the go ahead bitch, call your lawyer, I'll have sex with him. That's a pretty damn good picture. If you've never seen that picture, I'll send it in the Discord later.
Athena, we already talked about this. I'm bi, and this is a polycule. Apollo stayed with me when we went to the courtroom, and we went to the courtroom ruins together. But then I was called back to this courtroom to give testimony. Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4. I swear I didn't attack Apollo. Why would I ever hurt such a kind person?
Oh, Mr. Justice stayed by your side while you were feeling unwell. What an admirable young man. I thought his loud voice was his only outstanding feature.
He may look like a little imp at times, but Apollo can be really nice too.
I hope she didn't hurt her wrist backhanding that one out. One has to wonder, why did Mr. Justice stay behind in the ruins?
I think Apollo might have figured something out.
Thing? What kind of something?
Something to do with the courtroom bombing kind of something. I think.
Oh, no evidence for the case, was it? It's a very big kind of something indeed.
I believe so. He mentioned looking for some evidence while I was called away.
Objection!
Can I just say, this first case is very slow, but the main reason that it's so slow in my brain is that this is like the one case that I've actually sat down and played in this game. I've played a bit of case 2 and I've seen case 3 and 4. But the main reason that this case is being so slow is I want to see my boy, Mr. Weeb. I want to see Simon Blackquill, the Weeb.
I don't know why you would hurt Apollo, but I'm jealous of the love you and Athena have. Just as I thought, there is a connection between the two incidents. But the defendant has told a very big lie, Your Honor.
What lie is that?
When she learned Mr. Justice would be looking for evidence, she attacked him. She attacked him to give herself the chance to destroy that evidence.
No, I never.
Miss Woods repaid Mr. Justice's kindness with violence. We found the proof of her foul deed there in the courtroom ruins.
What on earth?
Do you see it? There in front of Mr. Justice's right hand.
Ace Attorney loves using the wrote thing in blood as last moments bit, don't they? Okay. Okay. I watched a video talking about Apollo Justice. That's clearly photoshopped. Shit, it is. It's like on a different color background. I watched a video talking about Apollo Justice. And I had the realization that the key part of Turnabout Serenade, I'm sorry, I'm going off on the Turnabout Serenade route again. Rant again. You know how the whole thing in Turnabout Serenade is that Apollo, essentially Mr. Romain Latouche, is shot during the second act, and the culprit frames it so that it looks like it happened during the third act. Yeah, Turnabout gas leak. And so, you know, Apollo and Emma come into the room like after they hear the fake gunshot, and Mr. Latouche is still alive after, you know, a whole act of the show. But he also is like, you know, the siren, you know, the whole line that gets repeated a million times. How did he know anything about Lemroar being there? Because she was in the air vent and he shouldn't have been able to see her. The more I like pick apart Turnabout Serenade, the more I'm just like, man, this case has zero logical consistency. Like, I can handle Turnabout Big Top's breaking the laws of physics, but like Turnabout Serenade, ugh.
Do you see it? There in front of Mr. Justice's right hand. Witness the message he left us.
It's written in blood. W-O-O-D-S. Why isn't that?
That's right, Your Honor. It says Woods in capital letters. It says Woods, which is where I'm going to send Phoenix Wright when I'm done with him.
What?
That didn't come out right.
I submit that Mr. Justice left us with the name of his attacker before he fainted.
No, that can't be true. Why would Apollo write my name? Mr. Wright, the nerve of him leaving that message. Why would he do this?
Payne, what the fuck? You know I can't read English. Hey, don't take it out on me. I don't understand it any more than you do. We discovered Apollo yesterday. Apollo!
No.
We didn't even have a chance to rush over to him. As soon as security heard Athena's scream, they ran in and cordoned off the area. Also, thank you, Sachi, for sending the "okay, bitch, call your lawyer, I'll have sex with him" picture in the Discord. I appreciate it. He hasn't thrown hands in Britain yet. After that, they were in courtroom number 4 with Apollo the whole time. We couldn't investigate anything ourselves. Had to leave everything to the police. Still, I never thought they'd find some bloody writing there. Now then, please begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright. You know, I have my brain is stuck on the stupid Juniper and Apollo fucking in the courtroom joke. And my brain was like, the S was added to Woods. He just wrote Wood referring to his dick. Because I'm so fucking, like, juvenile. I have the sense of humor of a fucking 12-year-old.
During the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing. Apollo stayed with me and we went to the courtroom ruins together. But then I was called back to this courtroom to give testimony. Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4.
Okay. I guess let's start pressing. During the trial yesterday, I was overcome by a fit of coughing. Do you always cough when you get nervous, Miss Woods? Why? Because she was pegging Apollo. Apollo would be the bottom in that relationship, wouldn't he?
Mr. Wright, were you trying to imitate Junie just now?
No, of course not. Do you always cough when you get nervous, Miss Woods?
Yes.
Mr. Wright, please do not make Miss Woods nervous by pressing her so ruthlessly. Don't mind me yawning, you're putting me to sleep right now. But that barely even qualified as a quasi-question.
Let's help her relax with a little bit of small talk before we dive into the cross-examination. You know, ask her about hobbies and her crushes and stuff.
Her crushes? Really? I don't know about this.
Apollo stayed with me and we went into the courtroom ruins together.
Hold it!
Why exactly did you go to the courtroom ruins?
We went to look for my medicine, to stop my coughing.
Your medicine? Why would your medicine be in courtroom number 4?
I dropped it in the heat of the moment. Bumrap Rainy. He was keeping my medicine safe for me. He has a little compartment that I can put things in, you see?
Oni Fancy has the same type of pocket. That's where the bomb was inserted. I've met people before. I've met trans girls that have a modified version of the shark plush that has a compartment added into it so that they can keep their estrogen in it. Phony Fancy has the same type of pocket. That's where the bomb was inserted.
I put my medicine for my coughing fits inside Bumrap Rainy. When I told Apollo about it, he said he'd help me go look for him. There was so much rubble in there. I was worried, but there was no rubble or anything in front of the witness stand. So when we got inside, Apollo went straight there and started looking for my Rainy in that area.
Shark undergoes surgery to help trans people. Truly the greatest ally, yeah.
It was so nice of him to do that for me in spite of all of his injuries. Apollo is so strong and kind, just like the trees of the forest.
Is Apollo also the god of the forest? In addition to the god of the sun? The way she makes him sound, you'd think Apollo is some kind of ancient god. Oh, wait. Oh, that's why you went to the ruins, I see. That seems to be quite an important fact. Please add it to your testimony, Miss Woods.
Apollo started looking for bum rap Rainy near the witness stand, where there was no rubble.
Hold it!
The area around the witness stand. Are you sure about that?
I'm sorry. Did I say something wrong?
No, of course not. I was just testing my hearing. Must not upset her. Must not upset her.
Yes, I'm sure that's where we searched first. But then I was called back to this courtroom to give testimony.
Hold it!
That was when you were called to the stand after Mr. Tonate's testimony, right?
Yes, the bailiff came into courtroom number 4 and brought me back to this courtroom.
And what about Mr. Justice? Did he come with you or did he stay behind?
Apollo insisted on staying behind in courtroom number 4.
Wait. Mm-hmm. Huh.
Hold it!
Whoops. Confidence save. First one of the playthrough, baby.
Objection!
So he started his search with the witness stand, you say?
That's right. I guess maybe he wanted to start from the furthest point in the room. He was being so brave and strong.
That's odd. Under the circumstances, he shouldn't have been capable of that.
But he was, and he still is. He might not look it, but he really is brave and kind too.
No, that's not the part I'm finding fault with. Someone has a crush on Apollo. What you're claiming is something that no one should have been able to do. I should think that anyone can be brave and kind if they want to be, Mr. Wright. True. Anyone can be brave and kind. But if you would please take a look at this diagram. With the courtroom in this state, how is it possible to walk up to the witness stand?
Oh.
I see your point. The rubble blocks off access to the area around the witness stand.
Does such a tiny inconsistency even matter? Perhaps the witness is simply misremembering it.
Ugh. Right, now I'm not so sure it matters.
A real man doesn't make mountains out of molehills, you know?
That's precisely what Mr. Wright does best. I call slander, Your Honor.
Look at this.
Every time it does, it makes me laugh. So was it really impossible to approach the witness stand? I have to say, it's a bit hard to tell with any accuracy just from this diagram. Mr. Payne, do you have any other photos of the crime scene?
Let me see, Your Honor. Ah, yes, I have one more. Here it is. It's a more pulled back version of the photo I presented before.
Huh? What's that hunk of metal on wheels? Mr. Payne, is that metallic object in that photo Mr. Tonate's bomb transport case?
That's right. Is there some problem?
Ah, yes, that transport case was there in courtroom number 4 when the bomb went off. It must have been there ever since.
Oh, that's it.
Miss Woods, have you remembered something?
Yes, I just realized. Its position. It's different from before.
Its position? The position of what?
The position of that big metal thing.
The bomb transport case?
Yes. When Apollo and I went there, it was in a different place. Where the case is in the photo was open space, so it was easy to search the stand.
I see. So where was the transport case when you and Mr. Justice saw it?
As I recall, I think it was more to the right.
To the right? Then that means... In that case, case was over here at the time of Apollo's attack.
Who cares where the transport case was when? What difference does it make? It has nothing at all to do with what we're talking about.
Where the transport case was has everything to do with this discussion. In fact, it's so important that it's enough to turn the prosecution's argument on its ear.
What?
Well, that certainly sounds very relevant indeed. And you sound as though you know where the case was at the time of the attack. Yes, Your Honor. This diagram represents the crime scene as shown in the photo. And this is where the transport case was at the time of the assault on Mr. Justice. Alright, I have this. The bomb transport case was here at the time of Apollo's attack.
Take that!
Your Honor, I assert that this is where the transport case was at the time of the assault. That's...
Inconceivable!
Miss Woods, was this where the transport case was when you saw it?
Yes. Yes, that's where it was.
Thank you, Miss Woods. I'm sure the court has noticed an interesting fact about this position. Transport case covers up the writing in blood. Exactly. If the transport case was in that position at the time of the assault, then no message could have been written there because the case was in the way. Which leads us to conclude that Mr. Justice couldn't have left that bloody writing.
Objection!
Why should we believe the defendant's claim that the case was in a different position? She's obviously lying.
Objection!
The fact that the case was moved after the assault on Mr. Justice is proved by more than just Miss Wood's testimony alone.
What? Where's this proof that you're talking about?
It's right here, in the crime photo. I'm keen to see this proof myself, Mr. Wright. What in this photo indicates that the transport case was moved after the assault?
Take that!
Please take a look at the mark that runs over Mr. Justice's bandages here. I see it, but what is it? This mark was made by one of the casters from the transport case carrying the bomb. As the case was moved, it ran over his bandages. In other words, the transport case was originally to the right of Mr. Justice. Then, after Mr. Justice was assaulted, the transport case was moved.
What?
Just as Miss Woods said, the case was covering the writing at the time of the assault. Therefore, it was impossible for Mr. Justice to have left that message in blood.
No!
You did it, boss. That was a real nail biter, but you pulled it off.
Yup, that should bring down the prosecution's claim like a house of cards. Order! Order in the court! The Mr. Wright, that was a very clever deduction. Ah, it was nothing, Your Honor. Nothing but pure genius. Take that.
Boss, I'm so
Wow. How did I accidentally make a YouTube poop noise by accident?
Boss, I'm sensing a definite smug and braggy vibe coming off of you.
Ugh.
I have just one question, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Boss, I'm sus. Mr. Justice didn't leave this message in his blood. Then who did? Huh?
What?
Oh.
Well... Judge, you're not allowed to think. It hurts your brain. Looks like I should have taken that train of thought through to the last station.
Well, well. I've heard a lot about this. So this is Mr. Wright's famous bluffing technique, is it?
Ah, this feeling. It brings back memories of the old days. Back when you carved out a name for yourself by bluffing your way through thick and thin.
Gee, Mr. Wright. The judge kind of makes you sound like, sound no better than a 2-bit con man.
You made your argument with such confidence, Mr. Wright. Now I'd like to hear your answer with just as much confidence.
Hey, until the judge asked the question, you didn't catch on either, Buster.
What now, boss?
I hope you didn't bluff your way into a corner.
Think, Phoenix, think. There must be a way through this. I have to dig my way to the truth somehow. Who could have written that message in blood? Someone else. Wasn't Apollo. Who could have left the bloody message?
Take that!
To be honest, I don't actually have any real proof of this. But I've come this far. There's no turning back now. Besides Apollo, there was one more person who shed blood in this crime scene. Person who shed blood? You don't mean... Oh, but I do. I believe it was Candace Arm who left this message, or who left behind this message in blood. What?
What? Detective Arm? Are you sure you know what you're doing here?
Not really?
Objection!
What kind of ridiculous assertion is that? If you had said the attacker left the message to throw people off, it might have made sense.
At first glance, that would seem to be the most reasonable explanation. However, Apollo didn't shed enough blood to write such an extensive message.
Uh-oh.
Ah, I see. Even the photo makes it clear that there wasn't enough blood to write all those letters. Mr. Justice did survive. I suppose he didn't bleed very extensively in that case.
But why would Detective Arm write the defendant's name? There's no connection between the two whatsoever.
And I didn't even know the lady who was killed.
I admit the investigation didn't turn up any connection between the victim and the defendant. They'd never even met each other.
That's very true. Well then, let's see. And maybe the intended meaning of the message is not what it appears to be. The intended meaning?
Not what it appears to be.
Maybe the message was not intended to be Woods. Coming from you, that's quite the bold statement, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, coming from me? Your Honor, I've made far more bizarre claims in the past that have turned out to be true. What do you mean, quite a bold claim coming from me? You wish to assert that this bloody writing could have some other meaning. Yes, Your Honor. Something I pulled out of my ass. For something I pulled out of a wormhole, could turn out to be true, right?
Objection!
It clearly says Woods, as anyone can plainly see. What other meaning could it possibly have?
Objection!
But Candace Arm was a detective. Maybe Woods only means something to the police. Like a police scanner code, for example. I didn't think of that.
You may have tricked his honor, but you'll never get the best of me. I have a thing for studying on the weekends, as you may have already guessed. And there's no such radio code as Woods in this state, dear Mr. Wright.
Is that a fact?
Don't look at me. I know about as much as you do. Or I know as much as you do about police codes.
Enough of this. I was quite taken with the defense's new theory. What if they can't... Why is it always me that's yawning? Why is it none of you that are yawning? Why am I so fucking tired? Can I call a recess just to go take a nap? I think I should do that, actually. If they can't substantiate it with anything, then I must end things here. No, please wait, Your Honor. Very well, but before we discuss this theory any further, I demand a plausible explanation. So, Mr. Wright, what is the true meaning of the bloody writing? Well, I believe it's... no stalling. You can't come up with an answer quickly. I'll declare this discussion officially over. I'm in trouble now. What other meaning could it have beside the obvious one? Maybe it means something in another language? Or maybe it's a code? Think, Phoenix. You can do this. Which piece of evidence will tell us what the word Woods really means?
Take that!
Bailiff, I'm calling a recess. The reason? I'm Eepy. To the woods with you. The bomb transport case. I've about had it up to here with your shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Take a look at the numbers on this case, Your Honor. L10015R. Doesn't the string look vaguely familiar? L100. What does that have to do with anything?
What could those numbers possibly have to do with with the case at hand?
Now please take a look at the bloody writing shown in the crime photo.
Oh, I think I see it.
Atta girl, that's one on my side. Says Woods. Or you could say it's a horse of a different color, Your Honor. I once owned a horse that we dyed purple. I just remembered the omnipotent judge bit from the last game. I once had a horse that was purple. He shared in my ability to see the future. It was quite the savant, as you might say. However, we had to put him down because he kept usurping my future-seeing abilities. The first character isn't a W. It's actually an L and a 1. The next two are zeros. Oh, my goodness. What's the number from the first case of Danganronpa 1? The true meaning behind the bloody writing isn't Miss Woods' name. It's the number engraved onto this bomb transport case.
Objection!
11037. Yeah, that's it.
What are you talking about? The next part doesn't make any sense. The next number is a 1, but the bloody writing says D.
Objection!
I have to ask Banana, I'm curious. You are aware that the bailiff and the judge are two different characters, right? What did he say that was dumb? You did not know that? Yeah, the bailiff are the guys that we see when we're out in the lobby. It's the two guys guarding the door. Those are the bailiffs. The judge is the judge. Oh, cool. Pornbot in chat. But the number on the case and the bloody writing can be made to match up quite easily. This is how the number on the transport case can be made to match the bloody writing. Bot, kill it with holy hellfire. What number are we trying to make? 2 lines. Erase 2 lines. Please erase the third downward stroke of the W and the curved part of the D. Well, would you look at that? Wait, I just realized it. This is the same situation as Turnabout Serenade. This is the same thing with the whole Interpol number. Lewis? No, Your Honor. It isn't meant to be read as a word. It's the number L10015, which if you take away the final R, is the exact same number that's on the bomb transport case.
Objection! Huh. Erase 2 lines and they match up, you say? Well, I can change anything else I can change anything into anything else by simply erasing 2 lines. What if we erase 2 lines from your name? Would you be happy as Mr. Rye?
Well, would you, Mr. Rye? The only right spelling is right. Okay, I'm doing pretty well here, and I think I've drawn the right conclusion. Detective Arm's real message to us is the bomb transport case number. Your Honor, the 2 lines were added by the real culprit to intentionally mislead people.
What?
The original message Detective Arm left behind was the transport case number. But whoever assaulted Apollo changed the message.
If you're right, boss, then what do you suppose Detective Arm was trying to tell us?
Good question. What does this number represent?
Do you see this number here? That's my identification number.
Candace Arm lost her life in the courtroom bombing. Her dying message could only have had one purpose.
No!
To tell us the name of the one responsible for the bombing. Oh, don't keep us in suspense, Mr. Wright. Tell us who she was trying to name. The culprit that the victim was trying to identify is none other than Athena Sykes.
Take that!
The defense wishes to indict Mr. Ted Tonate on the charge of the courtroom bombing. Ted Tonate. Apparently disassembling bombs isn't Mr. Tonate's only specialty. Somehow the victim must have realized that he was the bomber. Dead toenails. So when she was caught in the blast, she left his bomb transport case number as her dying message. She used Mr. Tonate's own ID number to finger him for the crime.
Objection!
I'm not gonna lie, Sachi, I'm really surprised that that flew over your head. You got, I have to double check, Sachi, you got the pun on, the victim's name, right? You did get this one, right?
Why would anyone go out of their way to write an ID number? Why wouldn't they simply write the person's name?
You think Teddy has an explosive personality? Yeah. But not in a good way. Can disarm fit in a murder case? I like the idea that just like Phoenix starts referring to him as Teddy. Speaking of Teddy, I gotta play Persona 4 one of these days. Yeah, can disarm the bomb squad specialist. He's got a good point there. What do you have to say to that, Mr. Wright? That only Detective Arm would know the answer to that. But allow me to offer a theory. Perhaps Detective Arm couldn't recall Mr. Tonate's name in the heat of the moment. As I recall, this was the first meeting between the two. It's entirely possible that they wouldn't have been familiar with each other.
Or maybe using the ID number was a way to hide its true meaning from the real culprit, thus lowering the odds that they would erase the bloody writing.
But no matter what the reason, the important thing is the meaning behind her message. The fact remains that she wrote Mr. Tonate's ID number.
Objection!
Now just one moment here. There hasn't been any proof yet that it was indeed Detective Arm who wrote that. The bloody writing wasn't found during the investigation after the blast. If Detective Arm had left the message, it should have been found at that time.
Objection!
Naturally, Mr. Tonate hid it before anyone could discover it. And there's a simple explanation for how he was able to do so.
What?
Mr. Tonate was able to cover the message up because he was the first to find the body. Oh, yeah, that's fair, Sachi. I've definitely been caught off guard by some of the more simple names before. It took me a sec to like realize can disarm the first time I played this game. The first person to discover the bloody writing was Mr. Tonate himself.
I was the first one on the scene after the explosion. I went there to ensure safety, but I ended up discovering a dead body.
Which animation with Athena are you talking about, Banana? When Mr. Tonate saw that the victim had written his ID number, he used the bomb transport case to cover up the bloody writing as a stopgap measure.
Oh, so that's why the message in blood was under the transport case.
He didn't have enough time to try and scrub away the writing. He didn't report the body right away. He would look suspicious. So those letters lived on to serve another function. The one where she was smiling smugly. Mr. Tonate used them in another incident. Oh, the assault on Mr. Justice. Exactly. Mr. Tonate hit upon a plan to use the bloody writing for his own purposes. So he didn't clean it away. Instead, he made it look like Mr. Justice wrote it. By adding 2 lines to the writing that Detective Arm left behind. He changed the meaning of the message. He made it look like Mr. Justice was accusing Miss Woods of the attack.
And so that means...
The only person who could have altered the bloody writing was the courtroom bomber, who was the same person as that assaulted Mr. Justice. And that person is Ted Tonate.
Yeah.
I think the other thing with the models in this game, the models have these really thick black outlines on them, and I don't think it really works in this specifically. This style can work. I do thick black outlines on my own art, but I don't think it works on this model. It makes it kind of looks like Smash Bros for 3DS. It looks like we'll have to hear from the bomb specialist himself. Mr. Payne, please have Mr. Tonate take the witness stand.
Yes, Your Honor.
That was great, Mr. Wright.
Just doing what I do best, which is flying by the seat of my pants.
Dismantling the case is yours. Do you think you can handle it? I look forward to seeing you try.
I've finally drawn Mr. Tonate back onto the witness stand. Looks like you'll get your wish, Goggle Man. Now watch me take your lies apart. Mr. Tonate, I'm afraid we have a few more questions for you.
I understand the situation, Your Honor. I was keeping a close eye on the proceedings from the gallery. Allegations are all laughable.
Objection!
I have put a pipe bomb under your desk, Mr. Wright. It was a hand-me-down from Herlock Sholmes himself.
I wouldn't be laughing if I were you, Mr. Tonate. Message in blood matches your ID number. The same ID number that's there on that bomb transport case.
Such a far-fetched theory. No better than a tangled ball of wires. I'll have them untangled for you in no time at all.
You were the first person on the scene after Detective Arm left her message in blood. You were the only one who could have hidden the writing, and then used it again later.
I see. But then, let me ask you. Do you have any proof that Detective Arm wrote that message?
That's a very good question. Well, do you, Mr. Wright? The best way to prove that Detective Arm wrote that message is to... Your Honor, I request that a DNA test be performed on the blood itself. Once we know whose it is, it'll be obvious as to who wrote the message. Very well. Bailiff, please put in a request for DNA test with the forensics team.
Yes, Your Honor.
It will be some time before we have the results of the analysis. Until then, let's hear more from the witness.
I would like nothing more, Your Honor. I want the court to hear how ridiculous the defense's theory is. I admit, I was the first one on the scene after the explosion. There was no bloody writing there at the time. Anyway, there's no way Detective Arm could have written it. She struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance. It was too far away from where the bloody message was found.
So you're saying that the victim's body was nowhere near where the writing was?
Precisely. It's as plain as day that she could not have written it. It's true that the body was discovered near the entrance to the courtroom. Please have a look at this crime scene photo. As you can see, there's blood on the rubble near the victim's body. She must have died after hitting her head there.
I see. All right then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
You have what it takes to take my infallible testimony apart.
I love that Mr. Tonate over here is like making like a Columbo bet you can't prove it speech repeatedly.
I admit, I was the first one on the scene after the explosion.
Hold it!
Why were you the first person on the scene?
Secure the area. It's regulation for a bomb disposal specialist to enter first.
In other words, you had the opportunity to alter the bloody writing then, didn't you? Bitch, you're a case one villain. Shut up. Yeah, probably.
Well,
Objection!
Mr. Wright, please don't interrupt. Mr. Tonate is about to give testimony that will show you just how wrong your reasoning is.
Darn, I think he was just about to say something interesting too.
I went and saw the aftermath. Well, it was quite the disaster. There was no bloody writing there at the time.
Hold it!
Also, Sachi, you missed, at the very important information for, later, at the start of this case, you missed, Athena having a, basically a PTSD episode. You were able to tell this even without those goggles on.
With these goggles, there's no way I could have missed something like that. I can see quite well with them, in fact. I see every hair on your spiky head. Oh, you have a few grays, Mr. Wright.
What?
Poor Mr. Wright. You're always working so hard keeping our office together.
Yeah, case 5 foreshadowing. Definitely. Wait a minute, I don't have any gray hairs.
Just kidding.
Objection!
I object to the witness's attempt to prematurely give me gray hair. Mr. Tonate, this court frowns upon untoward comments on a person's hair or lack thereof.
I'm sensing a great wave of sorrow coming from the judge.
My apologies, Your Honor. May I please continue my testimony? Anyway, there's no way Detective Arm could have written it.
Hold it!
If she didn't write it, then who do you propose did?
Mr. Justice, of course. Just before dying, he wrote the name of his attacker, Juniper Woods. A final message from your poor subordinate.
Or Mr. Justice, I'm starting to get all misty-eyed. Apollo's not dead, folks.
How can you be so sure it wasn't Detective Arm who wrote that message?
Very simple. Struck her head on rubble and died near the courtroom entrance.
Hold it!
Do you imagine she was thrown back by the force of the blast?
Bomb can inflict damage not only from the explosion itself, but also substantial secondary damage from the blast wind. Detective Arm unfortunately hit her head on some rubble. It's stated in her autopsy report as well. Cause of death, trauma to the back of the head.
Ah, the autopsy report. Better take another look at that.
Now do you see? Detective Arm could not have written that message. Reason for that being...
Wait, is it because this says blunt? Flat object. Yep, there we go.
Objection!
You're a terrible liar, Mr. Tonate. How did you speak those 3 question marks with your mouth? Take a look at this autopsy, specifically the part about Detective Arm's head injury. Cause of death: trauma to back of head caused by impact with flat object.
Yes, what about it?
Now take a good look at the bloody piece of rubble. It's sharp and pointed.
Hey, you're right, boss. It is pointy.
Just like your hair. I was gonna make that joke too. That is odd, isn't it? What could be the meaning of this contradiction? I believe it means the victim did not hit her head on this piece of rubble. The bloodstain you see is just another fabrication. Its purpose is to mislead us into thinking the victim died near the courtroom entrance.
Are you claiming the culprit moved the victim's body?
He has many of them, Banana. That's exactly what I'm claiming. The victim hit her head at some other location. Most likely on the floor or some other flat surface. And this location was somewhere near where the bloody writing was found.
In that case, she definitely could have written the message.
Your Honor, I have the results of the bloodstain analysis.
Ah, very good timing. Let's take a look. According to this report, the message was written in Detective Arm's blood. And as the defense claims, only the parts of the message that were added afterward were written in Mr. Justice's blood. It would appear the defense's assertion is correct, after all.
Yes, you did it. You were right, boss.
Now I have to drive it home. I'll have to take a good look at the bloody writing analysis later.
Yeah.
Mr. Tonate, it is now apparent that you've told several lies to this court. I hope you have something, or some sort of explanation for yourself.
Fine. I will confess.
You will? Then why are you so calm?
This time I'll tell the truth. It is true that Detective Arm wrote my ID number. She very plainly wrote L10015R. I was shocked.
Perjury mentioned. Except it wasn't, because they didn't say perjury. They said it was a crime, but
I did not detonate the bomb. Detective Arm must have mistaken me for the real bomber. Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and covered the writing. My bad.
I see. Was your assertion that you merely moved the body? Is that it?
It is correct. I did not kill Detective Arm.
Oh, well, if that's all you did, then... Wait a minute. That in and of itself is a criminal act. Glad to see you finally crossed that finish line, Your Honor. Very well then, your cross-examination, please, Mr. Wright. I did not detonate the bomb. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
It is true that Detective Arm wrote my ID number.
Hold it!
I only tampered with the evidence. I didn't do anything wrong. So you admit that you actually did see the bloody writing that Detective Arm left?
My bad. I should have said so from the outset.
And you're sure it was your ID number?
I'm sure. It was definitely my ID number. That number was assigned to me exclusively to me by the police department. Numbers assigned to my goggles as well.
Those funky things were provided by the police department?
Although these are special goggles customized by me personally. And speaking of personalized, These sunglasses of mine were custom made as well. They were specially created to be particularly dark and shiny.
Speaking of special, my gavel is made out of mahogany and was custom made as well. It was specially created to make a particularly loud and resounding sound. I wish I had something to brag about. But be all of that as it may, I just want to reconfirm, you saw the bloody writing clearly.
This is my ID number. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
And that it was your ID number.
That is correct. My ID number was written in blood on the floor.
You have your shitty lawyer badge?
She very plainly wrote L10015R. I was shocked.
Hold it!
L10015R? And it was written after the bomb went off in the courtroom.
Correct. I didn't know why she would write it. That sent me into a panic.
Sounds like you were in quite a tizzy. No one mentioned an R. The R was mentioned, it's just not attached to the woods.
If I were in his shoes, I guess it would have psyched me out too. I can't imagine coming across the message "Psych's" written in blood.
I think if he did do ads for a hair gel company, he probably didn't get any royalties from it because he's constantly broke.
If I saw gasp in pain written in blood, it'd certainly make me gasp. Rest assured, Mr. Tonate, I understand how you must have felt.
So you discovered your ID number written in blood at the scene, and...
That is right. I saw it with my own eyes, and it very clearly said L10015R. But I did not detonate the bomb.
Hold it!
Didn't you? The victim may have had special knowledge of who the bomber was.
I have no idea what thoughts Detective Arm may have had inside her head. It's not like I ever dismantled her mind to check.
No, it slipped into the Winston Payne voice too much there.
Mr. Wright, if you have suspicions about the witness, let's see your proof. Evidence is everything in a court of law. Even school children know that. How many years have you been a defense attorney now?
Cut me some slack, will you?
Don't feel bad, boss. You just got your attorney's badge back after all. In that sense, you're still more of a beginner than I am.
I suppose I should be thankful you're not a licensed psychologist. Wow. That's mean. That's a mean sentence. Mr. Tonate, please continue with your testimony.
With pleasure. My ID number was left at the scene, but...
Finally, someone else yawned. It wasn't just me.
Detective Arm must have mistaken me for the real bomber.
Hold it!
Athena did just decimate his entire self-worth. By mistaken, do you mean you had nothing to do with the explosion?
That is correct. That is why I was so shocked when I saw my ID number. The victim may have suspected Mr. Tonate for no reason other than the fact that, as the bomb specialist, he was in charge of the bomb. In other words, a false accusation. Acquisition. I'm testing out my pronunciations. It's vocational discrimination, I say.
Not support discrimination of any kind. Good.
Well spoken, Your Honor. If the victim had been found to be killed with a gavel, Mr. Blue Suit over there would probably have pinned the crime on you.
Inquisition. You would? Well, that just won't do. Mr. Wright, if you dare try to pin anything on me, I will find you in contempt of court. I've never even tried to harm a hair on a strand of your beard, Your Honor. Nah, it was Ryunosuke that did that.
Well said, Mr. Payne. Because I'm so closely associated with bombs, I was afraid I would be prosecuted if anyone saw the bloody writing. Do you mind if I do some vocal warm-ups right now? It takes a lot of effort to get this sort of like rasp in my voice, you know?
Raspin pain.
Not wanting to be accused, I moved the body and covered the writing. My bad.
Hold it!
You didn't think to clean away the bloody writing?
I didn't have time. By the time I found the message, the blood was already dry. These were waiting just outside for me to secure the room. And I still had to move the body. I was in a panic.
I like that there was no animation for that opening up. It just snapped fully open again.
No time to spare, I temporarily covered the writing with my case.
Didn't you think the police would find it during their investigation?
Regulation stipulates only specialists may touch transport cases.
Accuse me of anything, Mr. Wright, and I will send you to the fourth dimensional void, the place where I keep all attorneys that accused me of crimes.
Because of the danger, you see. I thought I would clean up the writing once they were finished. My bad.
My bad? Does he really think that'll just magically smooth everything over?
This guy's something else. I don't believe Detective Arm's dying message was just some mistake. He won't wriggle out of this that easily. What did Mr. Tonate see when he first discovered the bloody writing? There has to be a contradiction hidden in his testimony somewhere. Attorneys, plural? Not only are there multiple other attorneys that have accused me, there are also multiple other versions of you, Mr. Wright, that are trapped in the nightmare hell dimension. They're trapped in the hell dimension, aka Tartarus from Persona 3. I still really love that, Akihiko, we can't go into Tartarus tonight. We need to leave the old man in the hell dimension. I don't know how my brain, like, ad-libbed that, but it was really funny.
Oh, thank God it's not Ohio.
It can be. It's worse than Ohio. It's Florida. Ted is giving you massive nonverbal autistic vibes. I can see that, but at the same time, that bombs are his hyperfixation. It's a special interest. The multiple screams of the attorneys fuels my creativity. Oh, no, never mind. Moved the body and covered the writing. Cause of death, trauma to the back of the head caused by impact with flat object. Time of death between 8 and 11 a.m. Case Tonate and Detective Arm transported the bomb in. Tonate has the key. You know, the Ace Attorney legal system is very much a nightmare dystopia. I could see the judge taking a break in court to place an ad. Okay, so very plainly wrote. Did not detonate the bomb. It's a very simple statement. Oh, that's a good point, Sachi. It very clearly said, but, welcome back, Not.
Objection!
Good call, Sachi. I just want to make doubly sure that L10015R is really what you saw written in blood.
Yes, it very clearly said L10015R.
That's odd, because that's not what I see.
Objection!
Made ABC soup? I want soup.
What on earth are you babbling on about now? Wasn't it you who claimed that the bloody writing was his ID number in the first place?
Take a good look at the photo and the bloody writing analysis. Now tell me, does it really say L10015R?
Ugh.
Something is missing, isn't it? And that something is the final R. What is the meaning of this, Mr. Tonate? Water, meat, veggies, boil it for a while. Yeah.
Oh, right. Now I remember. There was no R on the end. It was just a slip of the finger. My bad.
Come back, my beautiful contradiction.
Mr. Wright, I'm not so sure it was just a simple slip of the finger.
You have something for me, Athena?
I sense that he's extremely agitated, almost panicked.
He does look pretty flustered. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears it was nothing more than a mere mistake. I don't know, did he really just make a typo? What about that R? Did Mr. Tonate really see it? He actually saw it. Maybe Mr. Tonate really did see the R. But there's no R anywhere on the bloody writing. What's going on here? Huh? Now that I take another good look at the photo, I think maybe... That's it!
What is it now, Mr. Wright? Are you trying to imitate Apollo and his cords of steel?
I've got it. That's what happened. A slip of a finger. That really all it was? Because I don't think so. I propose that Mr. Tonate really did see the letter R. What? Photo clearly shows that there's no R. No, Your Honor. It actually, just the opposite is true. The photo shows that Mr. Tonate actually could have seen the R. If you're going to make that claim, you'd better be able to point out what you mean. What part of the photo shows that Mr. Tonate could have seen the R?
Take that!
Please look here, to the right of the 5. Do you see a little bit of red? Oh, I see it. Just on the edge of where the floor is broken up. That's the R that Mr. Tonate saw.
Objection!
It's true that the witness wears some very odd goggles. But that doesn't mean his eyesight is bad, nor his brain power. What part of that little smudge looks like an R to you?
Objection!
You know what, Winston? You're right. It looks like an L. I want you to take it. But what Mr. Tonate saw wasn't that little red smudge. There was a whole incomplete R written there. Before the floor was damaged by the explosion. Oh, well, that explains it. Huh?
Care to explain what you mean? Because you just proposed that everything happened in the exact opposite order.
Yep, because that's the way it really went down. Timing of when the R was written turns everything around, or everything about this case around. Now then, if the floor was damaged by the explosion, when was the message written? Before the explosion. With the bloody message running off the edge of the damaged floor like that, we can only conclude that it was written before the explosion. Look at this photograph, and if you say it makes you laugh, I'll mail you a pipe bomb. We can only conclude that it was written before the explosion.
But that's ridiculous.
That were true, it overturns your own premise. That's right, it does. In fact, it turns everything upside down. The victim was not killed by the explosion in the courtroom. She was killed before the explosion ever occurred. Order in the court.
What kind of preposterous claim is that? Have you forgotten the victim's body was found at the scene of the explosion?
Objection!
True, but consider this scenario. She was hit on the head and killed before the explosion, or even before the trial began. Mr. Wright, I would ask that you refrain from doing impressions of me mailing pipe bombs. That's defamation. Her body was subsequently placed in the courtroom ruins after the bombing occurred. That way, it could be made to look like she was a victim of the blast.
What?
Sounds like we'd better look into what the victim was doing before the trial. Mr. Payne, did anyone see Detective Arm before the trial?
Let's see. According to the police report... Ah, here it is. One person. One person saw the victim before the trial. And that person was... Ted Tonate. Wait, what?
No one besides Mr. Tonate saw the victim.
That appears to be the case, Your Honor.
I would now ask the court to recall something. Specifically, Mr. Tonate's words from yesterday. Need I remind you of the fourth dimensional void? Specifically, Mr. Tonate's words from yesterday.
It was when Detective Arm and I were transporting the bomb.
Oh my. Mr. Tonate, just before the trial, you were with the victim. The two of you were together at the scene of the crime, courtroom number 4.
Ah!
Your Honor, defense requests new testimony from Mr. Tonate. We wish to hear what he has to say about his whereabouts just before the trial. Mr. Tonate, your testimony, please.
My testimony? There's no need for
He's completely unnerved, Mr. Wright. You must have hit the nail on the head.
Because
Ow.
all I did was transport the bomb to the courtroom. I already told you. Blast this thing. I was only in the courtroom with the victim because of our work. I swear I was only transporting the bomb there.
Objection!
Judge has gone from omniscience to multidimensional being. Yeah. You and the victim were alone together at the scene of the crime. In other words, you certainly had the opportunity to commit murder, did you not?
Objection!
Do you always leave yourself so open to attacks, Mr. Wright?
What now, Mr. Payne?
Yes, Mr. Tonate might have had the opportunity to kill Detective Arm. But an important piece of your assertion is missing.
What important piece? Weapon? Murder weapon? Yeah.
The murder weapon. What do you claim was used to kill the victim?
Mr. Payne has a point. Even if Mr. Tonate had the chance, without a weapon, we can't accuse him of the crime.
Well, Mr. Tonate. Oh, yes, that's right. I didn't have any sort of thing that could be used as a murder weapon on me. I couldn't possibly have killed Detective Arm.
You really have nothing you could use as a murder weapon? It was your gavel. That's it, Mr. Wright. Off to the nightmare dimension with you. What is it, Athena?
Just looking over the victim's autopsy report. I'm hoping there's something in here that can point us in the right direction.
Well, it does say that she died from trauma to the back of the head with a flat object.
Yeah, and to inflict that specific kind of injury. All you would need is a flat surface, right?
Heavy, blunt object with a flat surface could definitely be our murder weapon. Well, Mr. Wright, can you indicate for the court what was used to kill Detective Arm? It was a frying pan. I believe I can. Believe being the key word here.
You can?
And please do so now. I want to make a joke about something in another game. Is it another game that I've played? Yes, you lifted the whole ass transport case. Currently in the backlog. Is it proto-violence?
Take that!
Mr. Tonate, you say you didn't have anything that could be used as a weapon. But in fact, you had the perfect thing.
What? What the devil are you talking about?
You had this. That's the bomb. What is it? What game is it, Sachi? I thought you were trying to prove the victim wasn't killed by the blast. Or by the bomb blast. The bomb blast, no. But I believe Candace Arm was killed with this bomb. Because this is the blunt object that delivered the fatal blow to her head. Tyrion Cuthbert. Ah. Please recall the description of Detective Arm's head wound. No, Your Honor, the victim wasn't killed by the bomb. They were just killed with the bomb. Trauma to the back of the head, but caused by impact with flat object. It is a Phoenix Wright name. It's a Phoenix Wright inspired game, Banana. It's in my backlog of stream games. It's gonna be a while before we get to it though. We assume this injury was sustained when her head hit the floor. But a blow from any flat side of this bomb would produce the exact same wound pattern. What's with him?
Then show me some proof. Where's the evidence that I hit the victim with the bomb?
He's right. I don't have anything decisive. Sachi, are the rest of the names in Tyrion Cuthbert are the rest of the names reference, like, are they pun names? Or are they actual names? He's right. I don't have anything decisive.
Did you find any of the victim's blood on the bomb? That would be decisive proof. Too bad. The bomb is blown to bits. It's long gone. Boom. Game over. Yeah.
Ugh.
Mr. Wright, is there really nothing on the bomb in the photo?
I don't see any blood or anything. Not really, they aren't as punny. You think you can recognize Phoenix Wright names now?
Oh, wait, the timer display is a little broken here. Maybe it broke when it made contact with Detective Arm's head.
That's definitely a distinct possibility. Unless we find a fragment with the victim's blood on it, it's not going to count.
I guess you're right.
He's laughing maniacally. Can we convict him now? We may not be able to convict him, but we can send him to the nightmare dimension. By setting off the bomb, Tonate managed to obliterate all traces of the murder weapon. What in the world do I do now? At times like this, I've got to change gears and look at things in a different way. Instead of looking for the things he wasn't able to hide, I should be looking for a way to expose the things he did hide. Ted Tonate murdered Detective Arm before the trial started. Then he placed her body in the courtroom after the bomb went off. Which means there was something he needed to keep hidden until then. And I think I have just the thing. Time to present the photo that shows exactly what Mr. Tonate had to hide.
Take that!
At times like these, I need to think crazy. Your Honor, please take a look at this. The fact that Mr. Tonate hid this makes it decisive evidence for my case. What? I'm not sure I really understand what you mean by that, Mr. Wright.
I'm not sure either, Your Honor. Me either.
Here's a penalty to inspire you to make more comprehensible assertions in the future. That was correct, though. Oh, whoops. Well, that was a spectacular belly flop. Can't back down now. Better reconsider what Mr. Tonate could have hidden. Oh, okay. It's talking about the body itself. I thought it was like, how did a...
Crazy? I was crazy once.
Yeah, I'm thinking too many steps ahead.
Take that!
Your Honor, there's something we've all been overlooking. the murder took place before the trial, if the murder took place before the trial, then Mr. Tonate would have had to hide the body somewhere during the trial.
Hey, you're right. And if we can figure out where that hiding place was...
Exactly. We might be able to find some evidence we can pin him down with. I really want Athena to get her own solo game. It's unlikely to happen, but I really want an Athena Sykes Ace Attorney.
Take that!
Wait, a box big enough for a body. A box that was in the courtroom the whole time. A box nobody would touch if they thought there was a bomb in it. Mr. Tonate. Athena and Maya shopping trip. I would play it. I would. It's gonna be a while because I'm still working my way through the official Ace Attorney games. But one of these days we got to stream some Ace Attorney fan games. Mr. Tonate.
What is it? You finally have some decisive evidence to show me.
No, you're the one who's going to show it to me.
Come again?
You heard me. Now, show me what's inside that bomb transport case. Athena and Maya go shopping for Phoenix and Edgeworth's wedding.
What? Why?
No, there's no need. I've got him now. Just before the trial, you killed the victim with a blunt object. And then you placed her body in the ruins of the courtroom after the bomb went off. Clearly you were trying to make it look like she died in the explosion. But where was the body hidden during the trial? Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Of course you didn't, Your Honor. Off to the nightmare dimension. The answer is right here. Inside a box made of thick alloy plating that can withstand any impact.
No, that's completely false.
If it's false, you should have no objections to showing us your transport case. So, let's open it up and take a look inside, shall we? Yeah, I do like the music in this game, but I don't think it's as good as some of the other games.
Let's not. Not if you value your life.
What's he up to now?
Remain calm and listen carefully. This bomb will detonate in 5 minutes.
What?
Huh? I repeat, this HH-3000 will detonate in 5 minutes.
What's going on?
Your Honor, I recommend you adjourn this trial. Or this bomb goes off.
Mr. Tonate, are you threatening me? Off to the nightmare dimension. The truth is, I've sent Phoenix to the nightmare dimension multiple times. He doesn't remember it, of course, because I erase all of his memories of it.
I'm the only one who can disable this bomb. If you do not want to die, your only option is to listen to me. But Mr. Tonate, didn't you say that's just a training model? A fake to practice on? I did. But I also lied. This is the real deal. This is the HH-3000.
But the HH-3000 was used to blow up courtroom number 4, wasn't it?
How do you know that it was the real HH-3000 that blew up courtroom number 4? Huh? The bomb that blew up at the courtroom was a different one. One that I made.
What? Are we to take that as a confession on your part?
Take it any way you'd like. Just before the trial, I took the H3000 out of the stuffed animal and put my own bomb into it. And it was the bomb that exploded and destroyed courtroom number 4.
Mr. Toadade, please be reasonable. Do you really expect us to believe a crazy story like that?
HH3000. It's so unique. I had never seen anything like it. It's so unique that I could not replicate the detonation mechanism. So I just had to have it. Besides, did anyone look inside the stuffed animal during the trial? Did anyone check to see if it really was the HH3000 in there?
I must confess, no one opened the stuffed animal to check.
So there really is a possibility that the bomb was switched out.
No, not a possibility. A certainty. I did it.
So he's had a real bomb with him this whole time?
You had better get out of here while you still can. You do not have much time.
Sorry, give me a sec. Order! Order in the court! I'm out of here. It's gonna blow! Run!
You four are still here? Well, well, aren't you brave?
It just wouldn't do for the judge presiding over this court to run. That horrible explosion the other day. Judge looks like he's about to book it for the nearest exit any second. As for Mr. Payne... Oh.
That is...
I did not mean to turn on auto advance. And he's off.
Mr. Wright, what do we do?
It'd be pretty pathetic to run now, wouldn't it?
But the bomb might really go off.
Only 3 more minutes, folks.
Is that bomb really the HH3000? What should I do? Stand my ground. I can't run now.
Well, it's been fun, but I'll be going now. With my dear, dear HH3000, naturally. Oh, and by the way, I would advise against having me followed. Even with no remote switch, this bomb can still be triggered manually. If I think I'm being followed, I'll detonate it on the spot. Farewell.
Hold it!
You're not going anywhere, Ted Tonate.
Oh?
Your Honor, there's no reason to be afraid. That bomb is a fake. Are you sure, Mr. Wright?
More of your famous bluffing. Even at the risk of your own life.
Mr. Wright, none of your bluffing now. Not at a time like this. Lives are on the line here. I'm not bluffing, and I have proof. You? Yes, of course, Your Honor. It's right here in the photo of the bomb, clear as day. Proof that Mr. Tonate's bomb is not the real HH3000. Really? Out with it then, immediately. Where's the proof that what Mr. Tonate is holding is not the real HH3000? Joystick is very sensitive. The display for the timer on the bomb in the photo is broken. That is certainly a sentence. Most likely, it broke when Mr. Tonate used the bomb to attack Detective Arm. But the display on the bomb in front of us is not broken. I'm sorry for the random voice deepening there. I realized I was doing Apollo's voice. Oh, you're right. Therefore, this is not the real HH-3000. Mr. Tone was clearly lying when he said he switched out the bomb in the stuffed animal. The real HH-3000 blew up in courtroom number 4. This bomb is nothing more than a fake, a model used for training purposes. Ah. Fear not, Your Honor. I will examine the inside of the bomb transport case myself. Yes, please do that, Mr. Wright.
No, stop!
What is that? That a bloodstain? It's simply a different bomb entirely. Just as I expected. Your lies have all been blown to bits, Mr. Tonate. I'm confident DNA analysis on this bloodstain will confirm it's Detective Arm's blood, and that those results will conclusively prove that you murdered Detective Arm. How about it, Mr. Tonate? Think you can dismantle this decisive evidence?
Dismantle it. You're too late. You missed your chance to run, so now you're out of time. This HH-3000 is about to explode.
Don't try to threaten us, Mr. Tonate. Yeah, exactly. It could still just be a bomb. Yes, yes, do that, Phoenix. It'll save me from having to put you in the nightmare dimension if it's real. Don't try to threaten us, Mr. Tonate. I've already proved that your bomb is a fake.
It's real. This bomb is a real thing, I tell you. It's real.
Add bomber, party of 1.
There's no time left. It's going to blow. I have to disarm it. I have to take it apart. I can dismantle anything. I can take apart evidence. I can take apart bombs. I can dismantle it all. Dismantle, 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 dismantle. I'm not gonna make it. Only one thing left to do. Stop! Made it.
Game over. This defuse attempt failed, I think is what it said.
It's all over. My life has been blown to pieces. It's all that stupid woman's fault. She was selling the bombs I disarmed on the black market. When I tried to take this one, she just had to notice, didn't she? She confronted me in courtroom number 4 that day. That's why I had no choice.
Imagine if it's still a bomb and just not the HH-3000, yeah? That would be really funny. The game is just one case, and it's a shitpost.
Before I knew what I was doing, I hit her. It's all her fault. While I was looking for a place to hide her body, she left a message in her own blood. Trial was about to start, so I didn't have time to clean it up. Now all this. I thought for sure I could disguise her death with an explosion. And that stupid defense attorney started sticking his nose into my business. After my testimony yesterday, I went to courtroom number 4 and...
This is literally just the Winston Payne voice.
Found that kid all up in my bomb transport case. That's when I snuck up behind him and bam! when the idiot police arrested that little girl. I thought for sure I could pin it all on her. Why? Oh, why?
Ted Tonate, you are hereby under arrest. On suspicion of the courtroom bombing and the assault on Mr. Justice. Your innocence or guilt will be determined at a later trial. Now then, I see that members of the public have returned to the gallery. One person, however, seems to still be running far, far away. Be that as it may, I will now announce Miss Juniper Wood's verdict. Not guilty. Phoenix's neck is very thick. Court is adjourned.
You did it, boss.
Yeah, I guess we managed to pull it off somehow. Yeah, I guess we managed to pull it off somehow.
And so many mysteries cleared up all at once. It was amazing.
And it just sort of worked out that way, didn't it?
That's not the kind of thing that usually just works out. You made it happen. And the way that mean old prosecutor hightailed it out of there, that was great. Mr. Wright, Athena, thank you for everything you did for me. I'm so happy for you, Junie. Now you can go back home to the forest in peace. I hope the both of you will come and visit me there sometime.
That'd be nice. Thank you for the invitation.
I don't know, Mr. Wright. I'm not so sure you could make it all the way up to Junie's house. How high up do you live again, Junie? Around 3,000 feet.
I scoff at your 3,000 feet. Sorry. What? That's no forest, that's a mountain.
But you know, boss, there's something that still bothers me about the case. One little mystery we never got around to solving.
Oh, that? Yeah, I was wondering about that too. Is this the unsolved mystery you're thinking of?
Take that!
The remote switch, right?
Yeah. I wonder where it disappeared to. Maybe Mr. Tonate just got rid of it somewhere?
Yeah, it is a pretty big thing to leave unresolved, though. Well, let's leave it up to the police to find. For now, we should be celebrating our not guilty verdict.
I guess you're right. Hey, I know, Junie, shall we go to report the good news? You know, to that certain someone? Okay.
Huh? Her grandmother?
No, silly, to Apollo.
Oh, right. Well, why don't we all go to the hospital together to see him?
Great idea. I bet he's bored out of his mind.
True. It's just, it's not subtextual, it's textual.
Okay.
And so the courtroom bombing case came to a close. But the next trial was just over the horizon. There's never a dull moment with so many lawyers in the office, that's for sure. Apollo Justice, Athena Sykes, and me, Phoenix Wright. Between the three of us, there's no case we can't solve. When our powers combine, we're an unstoppable team. At least, that's what I believed. But all of that changed with what Apollo said to us that next day. It was something that would put my faith in us to the ultimate test.
Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence.
Wait, what do you mean by a leave?
Can you at least give me a reason why?
I can only say that this is something I must settle on my own.
Trucy mentioned. I still missed the
Oh, why, Apollo? Why are you shutting us out?
What happened to you, Apollo? Oh, ever since something... Fuck. And now for whatever reason, all my mind keeps doing is returning to the day I first met you.
Fuck! Stop auto-scrolling the text, please.
And as we did, I came to know who he is and how he thinks. It was a very peculiar case, one in which the victim was killed by a mythical creature.
I like the little, woo we got in the, on the right side there. Man, that was a long-ass trial. Don't look at the spoilers. Don't look at the spoilers. Actually, cool thing. They've got costumes. You could put him in his sweater. And you can put him in his original design. She's got a schoolgirl uniform because, of course. They give you like a sizzle reel that's just like it's like 2.5 minutes of pure spoilers. So yeah, give me a moment and we will find someone to raid. Oh, that was probably really loud. I forgot to mute my mic before I did that. Pay no attention to the loud snapping sound. Alright. I mean, Banana, you say that a mythical creature is a little bit too far-fetched even for Ace Attorney, but just you wait until we get to the Professor Layton crossover, because when we get to the Professor Layton crossover, that game has actual magic in it. That game has magic. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Depending on how my voice is doing, there is a chance that I might not end up, I might not stream more of this tomorrow. I might put it on an alternating schedule, but to be fair, Banana, that game is also much more of a Layton game than it is an Ace Attorney game. And supernatural shit happens in the Layton games all the time. Well, supernatural shit with an asterisk, but you'll get to see that when we get to Professor Layton, because I do want to play Professor Layton. Let's see. Maya gets possessed by her dead sister. Yeah. There's also the Magatama and Apollo's magic lawyer superpower of being able to perceive twitches, and Athena being able to read people's hearts. And we'll get to see Edgeworth's magic lawyer superpowers later this year, hopefully, when we play investigations, and you get to see the majesty that is Edgeworth using basic logic. Yeah, I haven't seen much of Spirit of Justice, so I don't want to bring it up, because I'm like, I would rather not spoil myself on that. Edgeworth's superpower is thinking. Let's go poke Ando. Ando's playing Armored Core. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Depending on how my voice is doing, I might be doing more of this tomorrow. I might be doing other stuff tomorrow. I might ping pong back and forth between this and Rando. But yeah, I will be putting out a schedule on Tuesday, because Tuesday is the first day that I've got my birthday as a date on the schedule, and so y'all will get to see the majesty of my stupid ass idea for my birthday stream. But yeah, have a good one and take care.